Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla Take cricket. Guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Well, they were humbled at Eden Gardens. They move across country to Chennai. I can barely hear myself. I hope other people out there can hear me. Can you hear me?
You're very faint, Hendo.
You're very faint. I'm very faint, Bear.
You're cutting in and out. Actually, there's a bad connection.
I'm cutting in and out. And I think that's better. I've just pushed.
Yep.
Well, you know, a bit of wiring into the microphone a little bit better. So hopefully you're hearing me loud and clear. Good morning, good afternoon, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Guerrilla Cricket. It's game 2 of 5, and well, England were absolutely mullered on Wednesday, I think it was, and well, they'll be hoping for something a little bit better today. I'm Gorilla Hendo. I'm joined by Anindo. Are you still in Cambodia?
I am indeed. I will be here for all the matches, I think.
Ah, okay. And in the weather cave, plotting his trip to England next year, where he's
this
going,
year. This year.
Oh, it's this year. Of course it is. Yeah, blimey. Good point, Messi. And of course, quite interesting because he's going to go and stay with all you gorillas who aren't expecting him. So that'll be it. I don't know whether people know yet, but it'll be turning up on your doorstep. You'll hear him coming because that booming jocular voice of the jester will be there. Well, let's talk a little bit about this game. And Nindo, India have won the toss again. They put England into bat. Can you tell me anything about the differing conditions that you might expect in Chennai compared with Kolkata?
Well, I don't think you'd get the kind of dew that you did in Kolkata because Chennai really doesn't get cold. But I think the pitch also does take spin, even if it's made flat for T20s. So it's going to be a bit of a different track, and also I think India's made a couple of changes. One of which plays into the spinning track because they brought in Washington Sundar, which gives them a second spinning option.
So they've got the changes they've made. It looks to me as that Rinku Singh has gone, as has
Nitish Kumar Reddy. Both of them are injured.
Right.
Both of them, I think. Rinku Singh injured himself taking that catch the other day, so he'll be playing the last 2 matches. But Nitish Kumar Reddy is out for the series.
Oh, is that right? I didn't see that.
Side strain.
So Washington Sundar. Well, he's a menace with ball and bat, isn't he? Dhruv Jurel comes in. Is he not a keeper? I thought he was a keeper.
He is a keeper, but I think Samson might be keeping, so he'll be in the.
He's just playing as a batsman. Okay. Abhishek Sharma, of course, there. He batted superbly at Eden Gardens. England have made a couple of changes, and I'm a little bit surprised about the changes they've made. Well, no, not one of them. Bryden Cast comes in for Gus Atkinson. Of course, poor old Gus, having had such a brilliant year last year, got a rude awakening in that first T20. Went for 22 in his first over and never really recovered. So Bryden Cast, who was a great success in Pakistan and New Zealand, is back into the team. Jofra Archer keeps his place, which is, you can't always rely on Jofra Archer to play 2 games in a row. And Jamie Smith comes in to take the place of Jacob Bethel, which I think is a little bit unfortunate for Jacob Bethel.
I think it might be Jamie Smith's debut, actually.
I think it is. As I was saying that, I was thinking to myself, is it his debut? And I think I may have heard that as we were waiting to get ready. Now England's batsmen are out at the crease. Messi Jez will bring you up to date with some YouTube information.
We've already got 2 super chats.
Yay!
You can access the jingle.
I can't find the jingle. Where is it? Where is the super chat jingle? Because it came in before we even went on air, and I thought to myself, I'll jingle it up straight away. I'll go straight into the
the Zoom feed is really bad.
Is it?
Well, there is a request for another jingle. Alan Turfmore sent us £5 and says, "Can we please have a just fuck off jingle for Leeds United, please?"
Is that because they're losing, or you want them to lose?
I don't know. But for Fiver, we'll play anything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play a little super chat jingle to get us going.
Super chat cash, super chat cash, super chat cash.
And of course,
Muttley has very kindly sent us £10. He says, "Woof afternoon, primates. Can't believe I missed the first game. Food porn for Messi has been posted, but people will need to join Patreon to access it on the Discord." That's a very good plot. Love and sausages from Muttley. Thank you, Mutt.
Yep, that's excellent. I saw someone else calling themselves Muttley on Twitter the other day, and I got a bit confused. I know, extraordinary. Well, it's going to be Phil Salt. He didn't really pull up any trees. Talking of pulling up trees, there have been quite a few of those across the land of the UK over the last day or so, as a storm with an incomprehensible Welsh name, I think, came in across the Atlantic. Phil Salt then to face. This is his jingle.
Get up on there. Salt, yeah, Phil is here. Want you to push it good into the offside. Scores runs around the park. There's nowhere you can hide. Push it. Salt, yeah, Phil is here.
He's going to be facing up to Arshdeep. left arm over the wicket. There's a man in at slip, and then there's a ring of 4, as you tend to get in these early power play overs. And 2 men out, long leg and deep backward square. In comes Arshdeep, bowls, it's full, and he's clipped that over the top of mid-on. I don't think he really got that as well as he would have liked, but he has made a very good start to the game for England, and he's got some runs this time, Phil Salt.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
Of course, the GPL is presumably open. Check what's in there. We started off on 39 quid on Wednesday. I think it went up a
I
little
put
bit.
quite a few in there, which didn't come back to me. So it is now increased, I'm pleased to say, to, I think it's 44. Hang on, I'm just about to get in.
Second ball brings a leg by down to long leg. Hit him really on the thigh pad and trickled quite slowly in that direction. So Arshdeep not quite finding his line yet. First couple of balls though. And one of the reasons I thought it was a little bit odd that Bethel's been left out, I might have been inclined to, well, do you leave Liam Livingston out? Because, you know, he can be so incredible in those run chases, although of course it's not a run chase for England here. But England have only got, Duckett as a left-hander. I thought they might just like to sort of mess the lines up a little bit for India. In comes Arshdeep and finds an outside edge of Duckett's bat. He was trying to work that ball into the onside. It straightened from the leg side, and it went flying through sort of gully area. Catchable height had there been anyone in that position, but there was a little bit of swing there. That's a sign that Arshdeep is just settling in, I would say. So Duckett is off the mark. I mean, he played an incredible shot to get off the mark on Wednesday, but then failed to play any other shots, unfortunately, from an England perspective. Salt back down to face. Short again, he's gone for the pull. There's a man out there, he's going to be caught. Oh my word. 2 men are out. Gets the bouncer, didn't really hit it particularly well, and it's the easiest of catches for Washington Sundar out there at deep square leg. Terrible start for England, really, and they are 6 for 1. Yeah, I mean, he was fetching it a little bit. Yeah, he was fetching it a little bit, and you could see on the replay, toe-ended it slightly. He either needed to get on top of it or go the full distance, and he did neither really. So he goes exactly the start that England didn't really want. Now the GPL, if you want to play the GPL, you have 45 minutes from the start of play. The GPL is the Guerrilla Prediction League. You estimate how many runs in total will be scored in the day. You pay us £1 for the privilege. Go to guerrillacricket.com/competitions and follow all the prompts. Please take part. It starts at 44 quid. The more of you that take part, or the more guesses that you have, the total obviously rises. It's not usual to have anything much more than 100 quid for a T20, but it'd be really great if you all jumped in there and got it as high as that. Joss Butler comes to the crease. He batted extremely well in his new and unfamiliar position of number 3. What can he do this time?
Pryor ain't no loss, 'cause we found someone Sutler. Okay, he can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Butler. Joss Butler, just because he is Joss Butler. one S and two T's, just Butler.
And he's off the mark straight away, just tucking the ball off his legs out to the same fielder that where the position where Salt perished. Washington Sundar. England moved to 7 for 1. Sorry, Anenda.
No, I was just saying that this number 3 position is not really working out well for Butler.
You mean? Well, yeah. I
3
see.
balls have been bowled.
That said,
Yes.
you kind of want
or for Baz, whichever way you look at it.
you kind of want Butler in early though, in one sense, don't you? I think.
But
Strangely,
not at the fall of another wicket.
not in the first
You
over.
might as well have him open, right?
Indeed. I said that the other day. Arshdeep bowls final ball of the over. It's tucked up to mid-on by Duckett, who scampers through for a single. He goes to 2, and after the first over of the batting power play, the main power play, England are 8 for 1. Messi.
Leah is with us. She said she was. It seems to have disappeared, but I know that she said hello to us all. Muttley says I can hear you okay on YouTube. Jay Grover's with us. Says afternoon all. I'm planning to have a drink with Jay in Sheffield later this year. Muttley says I'll get a spare bed for you, Messi. Lockie 6 says bloody hell, can't even win the toss. Parrot Badshaw says ahoy old dogs, salts and sea dogs. Dara Azizi says hi all. Alan Turfmore says we play dirty Leeds on Monday, UTC. And Dave Wood says Wagwan people of the revolution. I'm not sure what that means, Dave. Eowyn is from Lord of the Rings, says Muttley. And Dave Wood says, oh typical, I arrive as the anti-Welsh slurs begin. There's a few more there, but I'll follow up in a minute.
Okay, opening the bowling, as he did on Wednesday, is Hardik Pandya.
And in breaking news, Hardik Pandya.
I've just seen...
Hardik Pandya is going to hope that he won't be greeted like he was the other day.
Indeed so, and in fact he started with a slower ball, which is quite a nice idea. Oh, now he's clocked Duckett in the grill. He was trying to hook that, and he's taken the helmet off. Presumably going to have a little bit of a delay while that is looked at. This is what normally happens in this day and age. So interestingly, a full slower ball, and then clocking him with a shorter one. It wasn't that short, and he's through the shot quite quickly, isn't he? That's why he got hit, I think. He's through the shot very early indeed, so maybe that's a sign of not quite the pace in the pitch that you would expect. Now,
do you know if Duckett was a boxer before he became a cricketer? Because he doesn't seem to have much of a nose. He seems to have been smashed in at some point in time.
well, noses are, well, in the days certainly before helmets, noses were always a problem. I got hit in the nose. I was fielding at slip, and the keeper deflected the ball into my nose as instead of catching it, the bastard. And then a stanchion from the nets at my school fell on me as I was walking past it.
Whoa!
I mean, what are the odds of that happening?
It's pretty unusual, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Pretty odd, but there you go.
Had you done something to upset someone?
Well, I'm always doing something to upset someone.
Oh,
so
true.
You must know that. Now, I also need to point out that if my commentary is a little bit slow on the uptake today, it's because I have one ear on the vital League 2 match between Milton Keynes franchise and AFC Wimbledon lunchtime kickoff. I actually got into Gorilla early to try and watch it on Sky Sports Plus. Because that's where they have all these EFL games.
Isn't that the one Wimbledon's going to lose?
Don't say that. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it to work, so we ended up just talking to a couple of people who came round to see the Bears flat, and they seemed very nice indeed. But anyway, yes. So as I say, if I get anything wrong, that's the reason. Basically, I'm guessing that Alan Turfmore must be a Burnley fan. I'm just, grabbing that on the basis that
He says, big up to the Welsh. Love my holidays in real. Back in the 70s. Pontins. Yikes. Pontins. Does Pontins still exist now? I wonder.
yeah, I'm not sure. Right, we're back in action, and this is onto the thigh pad of Duckett, who turns it easily enough down to long leg, takes the single. England move to 9 for 1. Duckett has 3. Butler has 1. Salt has gone. I'm just wondering whether it's too early to say that Phil Salt is now Arshdeep's bunny. He's got him out in
2 out of 2.
in 2 out of 2 in his first over.
Or his condiment, I'd say.
Yeah, possibly. Is he the new Josh Hazelwood? Because you remember back in the summer where poor old Phil Salt could barely lay a bat on Hazelwood in that one-day series, for sure. Anyway.
Oh, he had a miserable time, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Butler, rarely being more important to England. I think it's a long tail, isn't it? Really, there are players with ability, but it's very difficult to come in lower down the order against really good bowlers. I just don't get much experience of it. Butler onto the front foot, good length ball, maybe taking pace off it again a little bit. Played towards extra cover, and there is no run.
Well, Hardik will be happier with this over. He's only given 1.
He's definitely. Well, I wouldn't say he's bowling slowly, but he's definitely taking the pace of the ball. I would say a little bit.
And it's probably a slower pitch anyway.
It's got quite a few cracks on it. I mean, nothing that's opening up or anything like that, but it's definitely got that look about it. It does look very flat. He's in again, and Butler is down the wicket. In fact, going outside off stump, but again, it's a good length delivery, and follows him a little bit. All he can do is defend it. Again in the direction of mid-off extra cover. There is no run. Now the average first innings total in the IPL here is 170, although I think I saw that the T20 International average total was something like 149. And that was
there have only been 2 of them here.
Oh, there you go then.
Oh, well.
That was Curtis.
Not a big base.
No, not a huge base. That was courtesy of Arian, who wrote quite a nice feature this morning about what to look for today. Hardik in to complete the over, and that's just a heave from Butler, who came down the wicket. Too much bottom hand in that one. Head maybe just went a little bit. He'll get a single up towards mid-on, and that is the end of the over. But India will be pretty happy with this so far. Just want to point out before I bring Messi back in that according to Saliar 56, that's Imagine, Bethel is missing because he's unwell. There you go.
Oh, well, there you go. It's probably toxic hair dye, I think it's probably what it is. Lucky Six says, haha. Four runs from the first ball, electing to bowl has blown up in India's face. They are doomed. Yeah, things have changed since then. Matthew Cullen says, afternoon grillers, happy to see Smith in the team. Does he have the gloves or has Salt kept them? I think Smith's keeping, isn't he?
Yes.
And Alan Turfmore, in response to the wicket, just says, what the fuck? Barong says, greetings all. Leah says, isn't Arshdeep India's leading T20 wicket taker? He seems to fly under the radar of lots of fans.
Yes, he's the leading wicket taker. He's also the leading wicket taker in the world in power play.
First ball of his second over is defended on the front foot by Butler. It's 2 off 5. Duckett has 3 off 5. Everyone's reminding me that Duckett's not very big, so it's not surprising that he's got clocked in the grill. That said, I think it wasn't so much to do with his height, it was more to do with the fact that he played far too early. Down the wicket comes Butler, and he does get hold of that one and puts it away. One bounce, very flat indeed, to the mid-wicket boundary. One of these. And I think that's what England need to do, isn't it? They need to get more boundaries. Abhishek went off at an incredible rate, didn't he? And of course, Sanju Samson hit that 22 off the first over. England didn't really hit enough boundaries.
And the field's all in, so they'd have to.
Yeah. And
that's the only way they're going to get out of the hole.
Yeah, they really didn't hit many boundaries beyond the power play, England, in the first game. He makes room for himself and carts this just short of mid-on, who makes a mess of it. Is that Hardick? Not sure who that was, but he's got back for 2. But his heart might have been in his mouth just for a moment, because he cross-batted it, but it was only a yard short of Hardick, who couldn't get enough hand on it to prevent it running away for that couple. England can ill afford to lose Butler at this stage. It wasn't the greatest piece of fielding.
So that's the dilemma, isn't it? I mean, yes, England need not more boundaries, but not to every ball. That's what Salt was trying to do, hit a boundary from every ball. Root's got the nous to be able to decide when he can hit a boundary and when he can't.
Talking of Joe Root, Butler tries to play a Root-like shot, that one to the ball outside the off stump, where he tries to flick it over the slip, but he makes no contact on this occasion. Just noticed that Rooty got 78 not out again today in the South African T20, opening the batting, 78 from 56 for Paarl Royals. So he's making a case for re-inclusion in T20
absolutely
offerings.
When did he last play T20 for England? 10 years ago?
Not sure. Driven by Butler, and although I don't think he timed it perfectly,
must be
it's got more than enough on it to take it way over the boundary for the first one of these.
Damn!
Yeah, it was a slower sort of off-cutter from Arshdeep, and he just waited for it. Very hittable, because he'd given him a bit of width, didn't he? And he sort of almost cross-batted it to some extent. Anyway, he's picked up 6. He's gone to 14 from 9.
The next one's going to be coming into him, that's for sure.
Maybe it'll be a short one. Man's gone straighter at deep square leg, I would say.
I think it's going to be a Yorker length coming into him.
He's in bowls and he gives himself room, and that's beautifully played. Didn't on this occasion try to overhit it, threaded it through, and he picks up another one of these.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary,
And in a flash, England have gone from about 5 and over to 9 and over, so that's they'll be very happy with that. Messi.
Yes. Just to let you know, Joe Root's last T20I was in 2019. And Sudahu made a very good point today during the Women's Ashes game that Beth Mooney and Joe Root are very similar in that you don't notice and all of a sudden they're on 30 from nothing. I think you're right. I think he would be an asset for England in T20s at the moment.
Well, Beth Mooney beat England on her own today, didn't she?
Yes,
she got 94 not out, and they were all out for 90. So
they were woeful.
Well, it's a bit like an England in their England men's team in an Ashes, although slightly different, obviously, because it's not a 5-test series. But it's once things start to go wrong, they just collapse, basically. Anyway, we've got a change in the bowling. Got spin inside the power play, and quite interestingly, it's the off spin of Washington bowling to Duckett, who's going to be out. He's trying to play a reverse sweep with his first ball, and he's just top edged it, and the simplest of catches to backward point. Duckett is having a little bit of a struggle. Maybe he should have had a look at a ball or two to see how it was playing, but that is a really big blow for England.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? Oh!
I think what he's done there is he's actually reverse swept it onto his shoulder, which is why it has gone squarer than he intended, and why it's lobbed up quite so easily for the fielder. Jarrell is the man who's taken the catch. And so Duckett goes for 3. He got 4 in the first match. He's got 3 so far here. I mean, it's not really surprising in one respect. Duckett has had such a good time of it of late. He's been getting runs in all forms of the game. That there will be the occasional blip, and this may just be it. So England 26 for 2. Messi, have you got any more socials?
Siddhu says, yes, so Arshdeep has 97 wickets overall, and second is Hardik Pandya with 91. Farong says, Hendo, Duckett ain't tall. Farong, I blame you for Duckett getting out anyhow. You're just always doing too much. I posted the link on our YouTube channel to the Guerrilla Cricket Roundup of the Women's Ashes game today, by the way, if anybody's interested. Siddhu also says, Ricky Pontins.
Ricky Pontins, yeah. Hey, now there's an idea.
Go on, Hendo, do the Adil Rashid has first class hundreds thing.
Oh, now, the new batsman has found the edge to a ball that's angled across him from round the wicket. The new batsman is none other than this man.
Harry Brook is the future. Unless he bats away some Kerrigan balls.
Just feeling for that a little bit, wasn't he, Harry Brook, who's, well, he got 1 and none in the final test in New Zealand. He didn't get many runs the other day. That's gone away to the right of backward point, and Butler is swift to come back for a second. That was very good running. 29 for 2. What we don't want from an England perspective over the next year or so is all those players who've been batting supremely well, such as Brook and Duckett, to suddenly lose it and have their blip. This is hauled into the onside. It's just got enough on it. Great effort there at deep mid-wicket by someone who looks very much like Ishant Sharma, but I don't think it can be. And it's just about gone all the way for one of these. Washington in again, flatter, wider. Butler annoyed with himself. He had the chance to chop that away through the offside for another boundary, but failed to time the shot. It wasn't that far away from a fielder out there. Washington in again. Oh, that's very wide of the off stump, and again Butler tries to square cut it more or less off the front foot. Doesn't make contact. Bales are taken off, but I don't think there was any danger there. Fourth over bowled, and England are 35 for 2. Messi.
Dave Wood says the bad news is that Pontins is still a thing. Ricky's family is still cashing in. Sally R56 Imagine says, really, Hendo, the ball doesn't have to be too short to hit Duckett on the scone.
Yeah, I did mention this, that everyone was going on about this, Messi. You can move on now, I think, to to other.
Darren's easy says, I'm waiting for Darren Stevens.
Aren't we all?
Matthew Callan says, I think England need to get more boundaries while giving away less wickets.
Yeah, that would be novel.
Interesting mix. Alan Turpmore says, YouTube are censoring super chats. I couldn't swear. Had to edit my comment. Boo. Yes, YouTube's a bit like that. England just need to be less shit, says Siddhu.
Stop being shit, as someone once said. Brook drives the next delivery. Oh, they're going to go through for a single as it rebounds off the man at extra cover. Now, India are testing England here because they brought on Axar Patel. So spin at both ends in the power play, which may be the way to go. He's in again, bowls, and Butler waits for this one, maybe just stuck in the pitch a little bit, forces it straight back to the bowler. Tall left arm round the wicket. Washington Thunder tall right arm round the wicket. He's in again, holding it back. Butler drives through vacant mid-off area. There is a man patrolling on the boundary, so they just get through for 1. I'll come to an Indo in a minute and just ask him a little bit about this 2-pronged spin attack in the power play. Now Brook has gone down the ground. Has he got enough on it? Yes, he has. There's no one back there at long on anyway, so that's good. It's good placement as much as anything, just in case he mishit it. And he has picked up another one of these.
I believe in miracles. Since you came to bat, you 60 thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came out to bat, you 60 thing.
Such a long jingle that Brook has had time to drive that through the covers for another 4. It was in the air for a moment, a little bit worried, but again he got the placement right, so perhaps I was worrying unduly. Final ball of Axe's over. He goes back and crafts a shot into the offside, looking for a single sent back by Butler, perhaps wisely. And in fact, I think definitely wisely. 12 runs off Axe's first over. Yeah, Anindo, what did you make of that? He doesn't really look as if he's trying to finish his action off. He really looks like he's trying to, take as much out of the ball as he can.
Yeah, I think it was just a reaction to Arshdeep getting bowling all over the place in the last over and getting hit. Normally, they'd bowl Arshdeep out or at least give him 3 overs. So with the pitch being a bit slower, I guess they wanted to give it to Akshar and see how it goes. That's probably the reason why I was given that.
Okay, well we've got...
but then now they've got spin on the other side as well.
They've got spin galore at the moment. And it's driven straight by Butler, and that is 6. You can't get it much straighter than that. That's a fabulous shot. The new bowler is this man, by the way.
There once was a boy whose name was Bishnoi, and he had so many skills that he wanted people to enjoy.
I guess they figured they need Butler to keep doing this and get him one of these times.
Yeah.
Because once Butler's gone, I think they've got England.
That's a bit of a smear, but he's going to get probably 2 out to Tilak on the mid-wicket boundary. He's had to move around to his right about 10 or 15 yards. So Butler's mixing it up here with tremendous 6s and then the odd ugly smear mixed in. Plenty of variety there. England moved to 55 for 2. They're into the final over of the power play, and England can't afford to sort of sit back against the spinners, can they? This is a googly which Butler goes back to, tucks it away through mid-on, takes a single. Sorry, Anindo.
I was just saying, half the team is spinners. They can't get away from it.
No, that's right. Yeah, you can't actually just say...
Chakravarti, Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel. I don't know if I missed anyone.
Well, Chakravarti might be the one to watch. I mean, he bowled pretty well on Wednesday, and England didn't seem to be picking him particularly well.
Very few people pick him particularly well, especially he's been bowling very well over the last 1 year.
Again, he's all action, isn't he, Bishnoi? Quick run-up, quick manoeuvring of his action, but it's a single for Brook through mid-on. England moved to 57 for 2. 2 balls remaining in the power play. Pretty packed out Chennai. And again, England just decide to pick off the singles. They having got the 6 at the beginning of the over. It's quite intelligent from Joss Butler. So they've now taken 11 from this over. Butler's on to 37. Brook has 13. Final ball of the power play coming up. Now, having said that, he's always going to do something crazy from the last ball of the power play, I'd imagine. Bishnoi in again.
Bishnoi is predictable.
Another googly. He's onto the front foot. He defends out into the covers. No run. At the end of the power play, England's run rate is 9.67. Pretty good. They have lost 2 wickets. Not so good. But I'd have to say, looking a little bit more comfortable than they did in the first game. Messi.
Frong says in the all-important battle of the Dons, it's 0 at half-time.
Oh yeah, I knew that. There's another half an hour gone since then.
Is it true that the Bishop is currently watching Luton Town versus Millwall at the ground?
I'd be very surprised because he doesn't support Luton. He hates Luton. He's a Watford fan. If he was likely to be anywhere, he would be at Watford, who are playing Coventry today. So it's the Forthy. It's Forthy versus
the Bishop.
Be the Bishop.
Yes.
I can hear some music coming from somewhere. Where's that coming from? It's not my phone.
Farong says, I hope Harry Brook has some contact lenses in tonight to counteract the vision problems from pollution. Pollution is relatively mild compared to what it was like in Kolkata.
Chennai pollution is much less than...
Oh, Chakravarti bowls. He wants LBW. He's pleading with the umpire. Butler's saying to Brook, come on, we could have had a leg by there. And Brook then holds up his hand in the supplication. I thought it was just missing leg. I'm not 100% sure though.
Unless he hit that, I'd definitely review it.
Yeah, they are going to review it, and this could be a very crucial moment in the game.
That was out. That was out. That was definitely out. Was that definitely out? I don't know.
This will be a really mortal blow to England's hopes, I would say, if this does prove to be clipping. Clipping is possibly what I was thinking. Seems to have done a little bit off the pitch, but it's also quite close to the inside edge. But he hasn't got very far forward, has he? He hasn't got very far forward. The wicket keeper hasn't really moved. I don't think he's got an edge on that. I think that's missing. It's hitting him on the knee roll.
It's got to be very close to being out there.
Yeah. At best, umpire's call.
But he gave it not out, didn't he? So if it's umpire's call, then he's
he'll be all right. Yeah.
He'll be okay. So we wait to see. Hearts in mouths. Certainly in the England dressing room, one would imagine. Here we go. Gonna have a look at it. Ooh, it is umpire's call.
Oh.
So
you got lucky there.
It is.
Gee, actually, and it was a pretty solid umpire's call too. You know, not. Oh, well, I suppose. Yeah. Anyhow.
Anyway, it's one of these.
It is what it is.
There's no such thing as a solid umpire's call.
No, it's quite true. It's quite true. Yep.
Either way, it's hitting the edge of the wicket.
Yep. I like umpire's call as a batsman. Varane in again. Fuller driven all the way along the ground quite nicely, but don't bring a single. There is Tilak in position.
Only when you're not given out.
Yes, that's a good point. Yes, and of course I don't like it when it's England bowling or when it's the team that I'm in. Well, I've never played in a game where there's been umpire's call. You'll be surprised to know. Seeing as that sort of technology had not come in, and I don't even think it's used in any form of club cricket, is it? He's in again, bowls to Brook, and he's bowled him, has he? I think he has. He's got him again, and Brook can't believe it, and off he goes. England 59 for 3. Brook is having that little period of his career, and he's gone for 13 from 8. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Brook smiled because that's about the only thing that he could do.
Driven a bus through that gate.
Well, you say that. Funnily enough, I was going to say, yeah, there was a gap, but there wasn't a massive gap, and it just went straight on, really, didn't it? It didn't turn. Maybe he was playing for a tiny bit of turn away. If so, he got it horribly wrong.
I think it was at least 4 inches. You know.
It was big enough for a ball to get through.
Bit.
Yeah,
it did turn a bit. Yeah.
Maybe. But England talked themselves out against spin. It seems to me. In the sense.
But Varun Chakravarti, to be fair, is not that easy to read because it comes to the back of the hand. So
no, absolutely. No, I'm not trying to suggest that he's not a highly skilled bowler.
But it's not great batting technique, let's face it.
No, but I think
it's
you're going
to.
Yeah, it's T20. You're not.
Sorry.
You know.
How could I possibly mention technique?
So 59 for 3. It means that Liam Livingston, who also fell to Chakravarti, I think it was in the first game, and looked kind of all at sea. He's come out to the wicket, and of course, there's only really him and Jamie Smith making his debut to come. He goes back to that one. He's going to get a run. Way through mid wicket for a single. England 64-3. Yeah, maybe just done a little bit there. It's ended up hitting top of off, they say, and that's where he hit. And Brook is now discovering that there are conundrums or conundra to be solved in India against these guys.
Hendo, you might like to check to see if Ajit is in the waiting room.
I might indeed. Full toss, driven up to long on by Butler, whose presence becomes even more vital. Now I'm looking for Ajit. Yes, I see him. I'm going to admit him. And at the end of this over, we'll have a change. Slip is in there, and Livingston goes back to a quite foolish ball, though it was outside the off stump, so he wasn't really too much danger of being bowled. Good over from Varun. First over, 1 for 3. The Bear is joining us. I think he's going to take over ball by ball.
I'll do a couple of messages. Lucky Sixer says at least the run rate is good. There is hope. And Sidahu says just had to go outside, not happy. To which Lucky says get an inside loo. And Sidahu says I think all normal cricket is umpire's call, surely. And Leah says Conundrum was a pretty good Star Trek The Next Generation episode. That is the sort of obscure fact that we come to expect of you, Leah. Thank you very much. I'll be back at over 15. We're up to date on. I haven't looked at Bluetooth yet, though. Blue Sky.
Bluetooth. Bishnoi started another over, and it's driven off the back foot by Butler up to long off. They'll take a single. I'm bringing you an extra ball of commentary because the Bear was on his haunches doing something to the sound desk.
I was just trying to turn my volume down in my ears a little bit.
Are we saying we saw the correct Bear after a while? Or?
What?
Oh, did we see the cracked
Bear? Stuck behind a...
I didn't see it. Now the Bear's doing other things. He's sorting out the...
I don't know. You didn't look the right way. I see where you're looking at. I don't blame you.
That's come off the pad. There is no run.
Good afternoon, all.
Hello, afternoon. How are you, mate?
I'm doing all right. Been a while.
It has been a while.
A lot of a busy time recently, so I've not been able to volunteer much time. My apologies on that.
That's okay. Oh dear, now I can't hear myself.
I can't hear you either, Bear.
No.
I can though. Bear is audible.
That's weird. Well, Livingston has tried to pull that one, but he missed it. It was hit on the thigh pad. The ball going down the leg side.
How does one think of playing Bishnoi? Is that like a fast off-break bowler who bowls an occasional carom ball?
I don't know. He's very whippy, isn't he? This is again shortish and swung away by Livingston. Didn't get as much wood on it as he would have liked, so he's only going to pick up a single. Again, I'm going to have to stay in the ball by ball chair because the Bear is once more down on his knees.
I mean, coming to Bishnoi, somebody did say he's a googly bowler who bowls an occasional leg break. I mean, it's pretty true, and he's fast.
He is. He's very fast through the air, isn't he? Tickled away by Butler. He's running the first one quickly. They're going to come back for the second because he's positioned that very well between the two men out on the boundary on the leg side.
Looks like the one at deep square was a little snoozing. That's probably his ball. But all right, it was well placed for sure. And look, what do we make of this England start? I think they sort of slowed down a little because of one more wicket than they would have liked. But I think they'll take 50 for 2 or 55 for 2 at the end of the power play, no?
Crunched by Butler. Straight down to long off. He looks a little bit despondent with himself. 66 for 3 at the end of that over. I'm guessing that I must be on.
I think I think you're on social. Oh, am I back? I'm back.
Hi, Bear.
Hello.
Welcome back. Got something for the socials?
I'll do that in a minute. It's still 0-0 at
The
Stadium
important,
MK.
the important stuff.
In the
yeah.
important stuff. Let's do some socials. Stephen Cake is with us. He says hello all. He says Vicar is doing good in the village, so I can grab some clandestine cricket hours. Muttley says I can hear Bear. Linux Leah says hello Ajit. Looking forward to tomorrow. As we say in German, was lange what weird. I'll break
Long
off there.
time between drinks or something equivalent to that, I suppose. In the German language.
This is driven up to long off by Butler. It takes another single. I think what she's actually saying is what takes a long time tends to turn out good in the end. The bear is on his knees in front of Hendo, says Matthew. Hey,
Well,
where's the
yeah.
pawn bot? The pawn bot should be after that on that one, shouldn't he?
Well,
Exactly.
I'm quite loud, aren't I? No, it's
You're better now. You're better
that's
now.
better now. It
Yeah, I
was
can
too
hear you
loud
now.
before. It's quite sensitive, this one. Anyway, so who's bowling?
Chakravarti.
Chakravarti, who's
All
just
right.
been slapped out, and it's not going to be caught out at cow corner. It's going to make itself to the boundary. It'll be 4 runs. Hoiks by Livingston.
Yeah, I was a little worried.
You know what? It's very fortunate, Hendo, that I've actually on eBay. I've been following these mics because I knew they were kind of crapping out. And it
Yeah.
just so happened that mine's crapped out today and yours crapped out today.
Yeah.
I bought another one this morning.
Wow.
Well done.
Well,
Anyway, but-
they're really funny because that's a little mishit by Livingston, but he's mishit it enough that it bounces before it gets to long on as he hoiks it down there and he gets himself a single. So basically, these mics, they're about 400, 500 quid new. And on eBay, you've got idiots trying to sell them for 400 quid and saying they're brand new, or used but still 400 quid. And then you've got the sensible people who start them at about 100 quid. And they always go somewhere between about 140 and 200 quid second hand.
Fair enough.
Which is fair enough, as that's played out to.
I mean, there is not a lot
The
of
cover.
prices for second-hand electronics. I do. buy
No,
and
but
sell
some things are specialists. These are quite specialist mics, right? But
Fair enough.
but the point is, I've got 4 or 5 now in a cupboard that work but are iffy. Like the levels go up and down, and the problem
You
is,
do not sell them as used on eBay yourself.
well, I will do as that's clipped out to the leg side and there's no run.
As a repairman's job or used but with the known.
Well, this is the
defects and so on.
thing. If you send them back to Coles, it's minimum 200 quid to get them repaired, right? Which is why
Yeah, buy a new
which is
one.
why they're all second hand. If there's anyone in the know goes, I'm not paying more than that's going to cost me to repair my old one. Right?
Correct. Yeah, makes sense. Nonetheless, that's Guerrilla tells you about mics for today.
Oh, exactly. Cut by Varron. By Butler off Varron. I went Butler to get 50.
Oh yeah, he will though. I think. I mean, I think he's even set for 100 if you ask me.
Ooh.
Something from the socials?
Not a lot. Let me see.
Super chat. You know what they've got to do?
Yeah,
You've got to smash that like button and
Yeah.
subscribe, peeps.
We've only got 15 quid super chat revenue so far today, so get on it, people. Not sure about Robertson for Simicast Bear. I'm guessing that the Liverpool team has been announced. Sudahu says, I like the way they show the strike rate as to hide averages and make them feel important. Linux says, check your Blue Sky messages, Hendo. Do you mean me or do you mean Gorilla? Because I'm not on Gorilla with regards to Blue Sky. While the bear is looking away, I will tell you that Liam Livingston has worked this into the onside and he's raced back for a second. And you just feel, though, you're talking about Butler getting 100 here, but again, outside the power play and with so many spinners, you feel as if England are struggling to hit
I
the
think
ball
they're able to land
hard
one
and far
blow,
enough,
right?
aren't they? I think they're struggling a little bit with regards to that, and they haven't hit that many boundaries since the power play.
They will land one hit every over. I think Livingston will chance his arm. This is a battle in a battle anyway, but Livingston will chance his arm a bit more. Butler
This
will
is
play through.
driven out to deep extra for another single.
And famously, Butler will grow faster the longer he plays. In fact, he's destructive if he gets beyond the 15th over. I mean, literally every second ball will be a boundary almost. So, if he plays into the 15th over, England are guaranteed.
Well, I think he's mishit that one, and he's going to be caught. Really, unfortunately...
Sorry, commentators curse.
Well, I was going to say, Ajit, you said it, well, if he gets past the 15th over, but I think he got to the 17th over on Wednesday and then I don't exactly threw it away, but got out. And he hasn't got hold of that one from Axar Patel, and England are 77 for 4. And
we're doing as bad as the women.
Yes, indeed.
Well, the women got 19-17 overs. Come on.
I'm sorry to say, but
in the Pakistan game, it was quite tough.
I have to agree with Henda. England's women's Ashes attempt has been as woefully shit as England's men's approaches. I mean, I know it's slightly different in the formats and stuff. It's been thoroughly butchered and outplayed.
Yeah, well, I mean, England are going to have to find. England's men are going to have to find a way against this spin, aren't they? I mean, this is, they haven't got the spinners beyond Adil Rashid. You've got someone like Livingston who can bowl wicket-taking balls, but he's probably not going to. He's not going to get some of these really good Indian batsmen out, especially if he has to bowl his off breaks to left-handers.
No, we also need some fucking. We need the openers to actually get a stand. I mean, Salt's got 4 and none.
One of them needs to come off.
Exactly. I mean, they've had 2 games where both openers have fallen for less than 5.
Well, they've had 2 games so far, and I mean, obviously this innings isn't completed, but England. The majority of England's runs have come from Joss Butler.
Yep.
And that's a worry, isn't it? That's a worry, I would say.
It is. He has experience.
What do we make of the debutant, gents? Jamie Smith, I have a lot of expectations from him.
Well,
he seems like a very capable batter.
Well, yes, of course he is, but...
what else is it, isn't it? What's he going to do?
Coming in at 6 against spin at this stage of the game.
Yes.
What I like about him is he's also fearless. But Liam Livingston has shown a little bit of mental acumen, a little bit of growth. Maybe he'll be the one anchoring the innings, while people like Smith, Cars can go after the runs. And even Archer can go after the runs if required. But they have to play until the 15th, 16th over these 2, I have a feeling. Otherwise, England will play and probably get under 150 if they're not careful.
Yeah, I think this is the problem, that they don't have that weight of shot from 7 downwards, really. I mean, Overton can hit it, and Cars can hit it. They both, in a sense, that's a contradiction because they can both hit it. But it's just so difficult to come in against spin against these guys who have bowled so much in IPL cricket and know these conditions down to the ground.
They can hit it in a sort of bowlering, all-rounding way.
They're
not
also
cultured, and they don't.
England
they're
will
easier
take
to
those
fox.
15 runs. 15 each, 15, 10, 12 each. That's all right. If one person can bat through with them, one of these 2.
This is the thing. I suppose this isn't. Where were they playing? They were playing at Eden Gardens the other night, weren't they?
Correct.
But this is a different wicket. I don't know what the average score on this pitch is.
Well, we said
I was checking
170 in the IPL batting first.
Correct.
I think it was
okay.
170. 149.
I was checking that as well.
2 T20
and the other thing, there are
internationals.
2 pitches we understand: a red soil and a brown and a black soil. This looks to be the red soil pitch.
Well, down the pitch comes Smith, drives it straight at cover though, and there is no run.
I'm going to call
red
it.
soil pitch is the higher scoring one. This seems to be the red soil pitch by the looks of it. Good bounce. Ball doesn't stick in the wicket.
To be fair, none of these balls are fucking spinning, are they?
No,
they're literally all going straight on that.
No,
one,
but it's the
that one
pace
straight
off,
into
isn't it? It's the.
It's the variation in pace. The quicker ones are pretty quick. That's just defended out to the offside to get through for a single, and their pace off is still sort of 52, 53, 54.
Yeah.
And their pace on is 60, 61, and if you can get it up and down at that speed, that's quite a useful skill. I mean, it's quite flat.
I think Cars and Wood might be very tough to play on this pitch.
Well,
so even
let's
160
hope so.
might be a good chase.
You never know. Well, we're being optimistic. You're just humouring us. That's played out to cover, and there's no run.
I'm going to call it now that Jamie Smith will be stumped. Muttley says, how easy are they to take apart and resolder?
If you know what you're doing, they're probably not that bad to do. Because I think I think there's 2 parts. People tend to, I don't want to disparage my fellow gorillas, but there's a lot of dropping of microphones and stretching of cables and accidentally kicking shit over in here, and it doesn't do them any good. So a lot of them have loose tops, and they've been dropped so many times that the cable connector is generally a little bit fucked, and that's why they change in volume level. As that's cut out towards deep backward points, they are going to make it back for 2. Bishnoi has luscious hair, doesn't he?
He does, he really
Absolutely.
does, yeah.
He's grown at shoulder length. Looks good on him.
Yeah.
But look, coming back to the pitch, I still think England will be a handful if they score anything above 150. But this period right here, how they play Varun and how they play Bishnoi probably, or Akshar, will be the crucial.
Well, down the track comes
That's
Smith. I think he's got that.
No,
He's got that a long way back. It's gone. Would have gone into the real stand, not the sort of 20.5 meters from the fucking boundary to where the actual boundary is. But it's still 6 runs.
He's read that to perfection. That was a fastish googly, but he was sort of already waiting on it. He picked it on the up as he ran down the wicket. That's very good batting, I would say. And just his 4th ball even.
That one's flat, and Smith waits and clips it into the leg side out towards the boundary. It'll be a single, and that's a good start to the over. 9 runs off the first 3 balls. I mean,
exactly.
I'm with the Andy Ward school here. It's only 20 overs. You've got fucking 10 wickets. I mean, we do see people get bowled out 15 overs. What the fuck? You just got to go, man. I mean, they do need to get 160. They've got what, 10 overs? To get another,
in a good position.
To basically get the same as what they had now. That's clipped out by Livingston out to deep mid wicket. There's no run, and let's face it, if these two can go deep down to about 18 overs, that's a very good possibility.
Look, be practical, and if you take 35 of the next 5 overs, 4.5, 5 overs, you're still okay. And if these two can not give that wicket away, then I think there'll be a lot of damage at the end. They'll even cross 180.
Well, yeah, exactly that. I mean, if Livingston's there towards the end, it's always fun to watch him in the last 4 overs. It's crazy shit if he gets going. That one is carved down to a short 3rd man by Smith, but can't beat him and get himself a single.
That's the thing. They keep losing wickets, but the run rate has stayed above it. Somehow that one blow every 10 balls is coming, and that's good. So I think that I'm still banking them to cross 160. This is good.
Clipped by Livingston up to long on. There's no run. I mean, Livingston's had a good run recently. He just had a shit last game, didn't he?
He took the single. I'm sorry, the long on.
Sorry, did I say no run? I meant single.
Yeah, but it's this is what I
You're
mean.
just picking me up, man.
No, I'm sorry.
Right,
let me
get through some.
I always do it.
Let me get through some socials. Stephen Kelk says, "Smells to me like a big bagger doomed." Lockie 6 says, "150 will be a miracle." Extra cover cases still on the plane. Farong says, "Duckett is still suffering from jet lag after flying from Melbourne to Kolkata." BRU exclusive report: he will leave England in August for the Ashes via rickshaw. Short and pulled. Oh, has he got enough? No.
Livingston hasn't going to make it to the fucking 15th over because he's just pulled that down the fucking deep backward square leg's throat. Gave it the bloody commentator's curse once again. He's out for 13 or 14.
I'm going to stop saying what England need to do. I'm just going to call the...
Yeah. Well, it's so England, isn't it? 95. Hey, it's a 5-match series. We'll only be 2-0 down.
Hey!
Why are you writing England off yet? Wait,
and of course,
we might win a toss. I do think the toss is quite important in India in these day-night games. I guess it's dependent on whether it's a dewy place or not. But I mean, Kolkata the other night looked fucking hideous, and the atmosphere looked vile, and there looked like loads of dew, and they got hit for a couple of 4s in the first over, and the ball was already wet, and then you're done. Really,
I suspect that in the ground. This is what's happening.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says you.
And it's quite interesting because it's really hard to work out what's going for a 6 these days. And I noticed this in the first game. Abhishek a couple of times, he was already well on the way to a big score, but a couple of times he thought, oh, that's gone straight up, and it didn't. It kept going. And
went up and kept going.
And cleared. And the same with that Jamie Smith straight drive. I thought that wasn't going to go. I thought that just was going to drop quite comfortably into the hands of long off. And then that pull from Livingston, I thought he got hold of it at first, and then it just seemed to sort of die in the air, didn't it?
Is there a strong wind, I wonder?
Oh, it could be.
Pushes the ball. I don't know.
I don't know.
Possibly.
Pretty short boundaries, isn't it? Anyway, around the wicket, that one's given a little bit of air, pace taken off it. Jamie Overton, who really, I mean, what have we got aside with Jamie Overton at 7, for fuck's sake? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Look, when you look at the chart from Livingston, the ball bounced a little bit more on him. It hit the wrong part of the bat. He didn't get all of it, frankly. So, yeah, it was a miscue. You can say that.
Did we lose to India in the semi-finals at the World Cup?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's played out to the cover and there's no run. We've not recovered since then.
Well, just to not talk about the England batting lineup, Arshdeep is getting quite a reputation of getting a wicket in the first over, much like Stark.
Ooh, down the track comes Jamie Smith. Fired in pretty flat, pretty quick by Axar.
Inside edge saved him.
Yeah, it must have been inside edge onto pad. He was quite a way down as well.
Prediction almost come true.
Yeah, I see him as a stumping opportunity.
Come on.
Yeah, possibly, but he plays quite straight. Down the track he comes, he heaves that into the leg side. There is a man out at cow. Tilak Varma, he's also got luscious hair. And it'll just be the one run.
I think it's...
trophies are always big in India, isn't it?
Huge.
They like them.
Huge.
They like a big cup.
Come on, it's not at least shaped like a biscuit.
No, that's true.
It looks like a trophy. You can drink out of it.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's a decent trophy.
Yeah. I mean, it has one too many floors or stories, but that's not a story.
Well, you know, that's just swept around the corner by Jamie Overton. Is he going to get forward? No, there's a bit of footwork, fancy footwork down on the boundary.
Yeah, big size 12s from Arshdeep.
Yep.
But look,
Two
that
runs.
was a high-risk shot, though.
It was.
If he had missed it, or even if the ball had not turned as much as it anticipated, that was a bold behind his legs, I think.
Yeah, I do think that, though, I mean, this is it. I think in T20, you just got to keep going. Fuck it. I mean, if they lose from here, they've lost it already. You know, you might as well try.
There is a thought process. There's no point in playing to 130. Rather try to take the risk and get to 160. Otherwise, you're anyway losing. That's the thought process.
What did England get on Wednesday? It was 133, wasn't it? Which is, it's not enough. I think you've got to...
We could get less than that today.
Well, you could, very much so. A lot depends on these two batting for another 3 or 4 overs, for sure. I mean, I think England were, did they lose their final wicket on the final ball of the game? The final ball of their innings? I think it was Wood was run out. But they got 5 wickets in hand. They've got players that can bat. Carse is a good batsman, but will he against this?
Yeah, but Carse is a man you want in for 2 overs, 3 overs maximum.
Yeah.
With someone who can bat at the other end. Well, you've got Jamie Smith, the only recognised batsman left.
Oh,
you wouldn't want this many overs of Jamie Overton, would you?
Oh,
Abhishek
isn't a surprise?
Well, I think they're taking pity on us, aren't they?
Yeah, it's.
No, I think it was a plan. I think they have been looking at probably who's batting well. This is a left-arm spinner.
Yeah. Well, Smith's 12 off 9. He's going to face up to 94 for 5, England. Has he got enough?
He didn't get that.
Yeah, no, he did get that. He's in the crowd. He's over the fence. He's gone back exactly like Hendo says. That looked like he admitted it was going to get caught long on. It's gone sailing over long on.
That was
all
a
the way
ball.
over the boundary. 6 runs.
He's also a fastish left-arm off-break bowler, so I think they saw the success Akshar has. But that was a shit ball to start.
Yeah.
Short.
That's short and wide and cut.
One
And
more, I
cut
think.
well
That's
by
on the
Jamie
boundary.
Smith. Good placement, well behind square on the offside. Gets himself 4 runs. Starts the over again at 10. He's
going. Great guns. I hit the ball. 4 runs. I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
very interesting the way Abhishek bowls, doesn't he? He comes around the wicket, but he delivers from
Between the
almost in
sticks.
front of the stumps at the non-striker's end. I'm not sure whether the umpire can see that well.
I don't think he's all that tall. But look, I didn't want to criticize this move at the outset, but why not have Bishnoi continue?
Down the track comes
for
fucking
goodness
Jamie
sake.
Smith and slaps it down a wide, long off throat. For fuck's
What's
sake.
going on? Why?
They keep picking out the bloody fielders.
It's that luscious haired Tilak Verma. I guess.
Yeah, Tilak Varma with his luscious hair has caught that down at long off. Fucking hell. That was a good innings though, 22 off 12. Just need that in the last overs. Last 2 overs.
Yeah,
No, but
doesn't it?
now you need it to continue, right? You need to give 4 more overs. Again, I think that was a miss hit, by the way. He was looking to hit that wider. and he sort of found the man. He was looking to hit that over extra cover for.
I think he was. But then again,
not required.
You've got 10 from 2 balls, and when you've got so few batsmen to come, do you not just consolidate a little bit having done that? I can understand him playing that shot if they'd only got 2 or 3 runs off the first 2 balls, but having got 10, I suppose the thing with Jamie Smith is once he gets into that mode, he stays there, doesn't he? He gets into that zone a little bit, and
that's T20 all over, isn't it?
And Billy Stevens has joined us and says England proving once again why Root has to be in their T20 side.
Yes.
I can't say I disagree with you on that. Messi Jez says very important point for the real Dons, and a point for the other so-called Dons. 0-0.
Oh God, 0-0. That's dull. Worked around the corner by Bryden Cast, who goes off down towards fine leg, comes back for a second, gets there easy enough.
I mean, he may have had a wicket, but that's a very ordinary over so far. 2 short balls, 1 good length ball, and 1 sort of fired down the leg.
Yeah, but the wicket's important, really. I mean, he's got last.
Yeah, I think so. The run rate got the boost it needed. They're back up against 8, but no.
Exactly. He's the last recognised batsman who's just gone. And we've only got 106. And we've still got 7 overs to go.
Overton to the rescue.
Yeah. When do we switch? At the end of the 13th?
End of this ball.
End of this over. That's down the leg side. Hits the pad of Bryden Cast. Doesn't get it anywhere. It's no run. 106 for 6 after 13. Hendo is going to take you through with Messrs Anindo again.
Thank you. See you later.
See you later.
Thanks, Ajit. Welcome back to Anindo. And he's in Cambodia, would you believe? And Messi, of course, is in Perth in Australia. I guess, Messi, you're probably happier to be in Perth in Australia than Perth in Scotland, on the basis that Scotland is getting blown over at the moment.
Although it's been raining in Perth overnight, and it's just been warm and really humid. I hate that. I hate humidity. But yeah, you're right.
AXA is going to bowl his final over. He's got figures of 2 for 20, which, considering that he went for 12 of his first over, is a pretty good response. England now have to bat out, don't they? That's the tricky thing, really, because they've only actually got 4 wickets left, and it doesn't look as if India really want to bowl anything quicker than about 55 miles an hour. Down the wicket comes Kars, and he's cleared him again. Hardik Pandya was running across, and I thought he would just snatch that out of the air, but he's got long levers, has Kars, and that has enabled him to hit it all the way for another of these.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
He defends the next. Yes, you should be back. You should be back, Anindo. Welcome back. It's all been going horribly wrong for England. You'll be very happy to see. AXA again in. Oh, and he plays a lovely little late cut, because that was almost a sidearm delivery, wasn't it? It was so round-armed that you wondered whether it would actually be bounce enough for him to get anything on it. But he's played a lovely little late chop. Fine of the man at backward point, and he picks up one of these. So very, very good shot indeed. Possibly shot of the day. In again, onto the back foot this time, and it's defended towards extra cover. What I will say about the spinners, I think, as regard to India, is it's intelligent spin bowling. They're not trying to turn it a great deal. They're just bowling quite accurately. Pretty much every ball is at the stumps, so it requires the batsman to make room all the time if he's going to get anything. Chopped away for a single, end of the over, 118 for 6. And Indo.
Sorry, I was just going to say that what does help in that Hendo is that none of them are capable of turning the ball. And so.
Well, yeah, maybe there is that.
So, Akshar Patel on a turning pitch, yes. The rest, I think, are very much T20 bowlers. So
Yeah. Well, hang on. Washington Sundar took a 7-4, didn't he, in the Test series against New Zealand?
He didn't. He really didn't turn the ball much.
Well,
Yeah.
enough.
It's also a question of flight.
Bishnoi
The
bowls.
last time Akshar Patel.
Sorry, Bishnoi starts his third over. Cast forces off the back foot, but doesn't time it. Was all ready to take the run, but there was never one there, and so he was sent back quite rightly by Overton.
If you recall the previous series that England played, and Akshar Patel took some 30 wickets or something, they were all by straight balls.
Pulled by Cast out to deep square for a single. Yep, it's the threat of turn, isn't it? It's these days.
Exactly.
Spinners are getting a lot more wickets with balls that don't turn than they would ever have done 30 years ago because of the review system. He's given himself room there, Overton, and then doesn't really fully go through with the shot. He sort of restricts himself and settles for a one down to long off when it appeared to me as if he was going to give it the kitchen sink through square cover. And maybe just didn't come on as he wanted it to. 120 for 6 halfway through the 15th over. Bishnoi in again outside the off stump. This is cut through the covers. It's just going to be a single. Arshdeep is out there on the cover boundary. Cast has moved on to 15 from 11, and he is very quickly becoming a massively important part of this England team in various forms of the game. Overton again onto the back foot, doesn't time his force, and it's picked up by the captain Sansom at extra. And there's one ball remaining in the 15th over. 3 in the ring on the offside. It's another googly, which again Overton can't do very much with, pushes it to Sansom. 121 for 6, Messi.
Sudo makes a very good point, I think. He says, I don't mind the route idea, but it relies on strike rotation, which the rest of them aren't into. And I think that's at the very heart of what the problem is for England. Their intelligence in terms of playing T20 involves rotating the strike, looking for runs which aren't boundaries, as well as hitting it hard. And it just doesn't seem to be in their DNA at the moment, apart from Butler sometimes. But Root is the master of that.
Varun bowls to Cast, and Cast has launched this one to wide long on, and he's cleared the fence by many a mile. It's 6 more. Cast hasn't given up, getting 160 or so. Good stuff from him. Oh, what happened to the jingle there? Nothing happened at all.
2, 4, 6.
Varun's into his last over. He's gone for another one, but he's got hand off the ball. Bottom hand came off the ball, but he got enough on it still. And that has gone away over, well, really long leg, I would say. So consecutive 6s. England are, they're hitting plenty more 6s than 4s, it has to be said. It's one of these.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
Varun in again, and that's a quicker, straighter, fuller ball, which he just can do very little with, but play it back to the bowler. And that's sensible batting from Cast. If he tried to swing at that, he might have been in all sorts of trouble. Projected score now moved up to 172, but I think that's very dependent on England keeping wickets in hand. 133 for 6 halfway through the 16th.
Well, this is better than what they did in the entire first T20.
Good shot again, and they're going to come back for a second. Going to have to hurry is Overton. It was a good shot again by Cast. It was in front of square cover, so the man out there had to make some ground, but not a huge amount of ground, and he hit it hard, so it needed all of the big strides that James Overton could get in to get back for that. 135 for 6. 14 off the first 4 balls of this over. And Varron's on 37. He's bowling round the wicket now. In fact, the previous ball was from around the wicket, and Carse just goes back, eases it into the onside, out to deep mid wicket, takes the single. He moves on to 30 from 16. And
well, if Carse and Root were batting, then you'd probably get some singles.
Yeah, as I was making that point earlier on Wednesday, I think, Messi, that about England. He's bowled him. That's a lovely ball. It's not Carse, it's Overton. He was completely foxed by that. It did do a little bit, but he had no clue, really, I'm afraid. Jamie Overton. 7th wicket goes down. Varron grabs another wicket with his final delivery. The England fans in the crowd are beside themselves with gloom. But that was a very good ball, wasn't it? Look, that's done a fair bit. Really has. Lovely ball.
He does win the ball.
Yeah. So 137 for 7, and we've got Jofra Archer, we've got Adil Rashid, who, as Suter, who will point out to you, has scored many a first-class 100, and as I said, I think earlier in the over, it really is dependent on England keeping wickets in hand. They don't want to be down to 9 wickets for the last 2 or 3 overs, do they? Anyway, England, I don't think play very intelligent cricket. Full stop. And I don't think they've played intelligent cricket for almost as long as I've been watching cricket.
I think it applies in Test cricket as well.
Absolutely, totally.
But what do you reckon? What do you reckon the score is going to be here? 170?
I think 165 at most.
Yeah. Bishnoi into Carse, and he clips that away through mid-wicket. They're looking for a second to long on. Will they get it? Oh, it's going to be run out. Oh, my goodness me. Now, that is the last thing England needed. But Bryden Carse, batting so beautifully, has turned to come back for a second. Jofra Archer has said no. And you probably have to say that Jofra Archer was right, because the throw from off balance was a good one. And the bowler didn't really have to move from the stumps to gather it. Archer had come a long way, to be fair. Well, so I think you have to say that Archer has sold him down the river a little bit there.
I think he has,
Yeah.
And that was Jurel, so he was using his wicket-keeping skills too.
Yeah, so England are making an absolute pig's ear of this. They're only 4 runs ahead of what they were at the end of 20 overs on Wednesday.
It's really good pick up and throw.
It really was, absolutely. I'm still not sure that Archer would have got there, but by coming 4 or 5 yards, he did suggest to Carse that he was coming. And actually, from the position that they're in, they would have rather have lost Archer than Bryden Carse. But that's what happens, I'm afraid to say.
I'm not sure they're going to get to 165 now.
No, I was going to say, when you were saying that, I was thinking 153. I know I'm a pessimist, but they're 137 for 8.
That's very precise.
Yeah. Bishnoi then in again to Archer, who goes back, and that ball was angled onto his pads. He'll flicks it, gets a single to deep square leg, and it is that man, the man who scores first class hundreds for fun. It's this man.
Adil Rashid on the 45. 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 Adil can turn it both ways. Adil can turn it. Adil can turn it both ways. Adil can turn it. Adil can turn it both ways. Adil can turn it on the 45.
Defended into the offside by Rashid. That's his first ball. And Bishnoi is in again, and he plays that really well. It was quite full, but he used the full extent of his wrists and whipped it, cut it really, through backward point, all the way to the boundary for one of these.
1 and 2 and 3 and
All joking apart, I do seriously think that Adil Rashid is a very, very good batsman. He's played that fine. He's going to get a single. The man on the 45 can just about get there. Varun, I think it is.
I mean, as a leg spinner, he knows exactly what Bishnoi is going to do, because Bishnoi has only one delivery. So
yeah, and also
as long as he has the line right, I mean, that's all.
The other thing with Adil Rashid, as Bishnoi is in again, bowls to Archer, and that nearly got through as he went back to it, and you kind of felt he shouldn't have been going back to that, but he is going to get a run off the inside edge. The thing about Rashid is, and I know it's a stereotype, but and I suppose it is the fact that he is a highly skillful wrist spinner. He does have the most amazing wrists, and I sometimes feel as if he was given more opportunities. Maybe I don't know, maybe put him up to 6.
Well, I'd have to say we have a blast from the past joining us.
Really?
Abhishek Chopra, old Chopanos, is with us.
Oh, right.
He says, hello, gents. So good to tune in after so long. Hope you're well. Cheers. Lovely to hear from you, Abhishek. Missed you around here. Sidahu says, cold and windy in Scotland. Yeah, we're not used to that. Dara Azizi says, cold and windy in Arizona. Completely used to it. It seems no time since you were saying it's been 135 days over 40 degrees or something, Dara.
Well, we're going to get a bit of pace finally. A bit of pace. Arshdeep is going to come back. He's got 2 overs to bowl. He's going to come round the wicket to cramp Jofra for room, and he bowls him a bouncer, which is signalled wide by the umpire at square leg. I'm not sure it was, actually. I think he just pulled out of it.
I think it was a very short umpire.
Yes, it just seemed very high to him.
Would have been over my head.
It's a very good point. Talking of the wind in Scotland, my sister lives in Scotland, and they had a giant tree fall down. Arshdeep in full, driven out to mid wicket. It was almost Yorker length really, but he's done well there. Arshdeep to take the single, moves on to 3. She was saying that basically if it had fallen 180 degrees in the other direction, it would have crashed through their roof, which wouldn't have done them a lot of good. Has to be said. 146 for 8. We're into the 18th over. There's not a lot of confidence in that England dugout. Very pensive. Arshdeep to Rashid, and Rashid goes back to one that looked slower to me, and he can't get it either side of the man at backward point. So another dot ball. 146 for 8. Yes, that was down at 113 Ks from Abhishek. Arshdeep. Got Abhishek on the brain. It is great to hear from Abhishek. It really is. It has been a very long time. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Who have you been listening to instead? Arshdeep again in.
Maybe he's been working.
Driven. Well, just clearing the infield. They're going to come back for a second as the man from deep cover has to run round. Rashid moves on to 7. And that's the thing I like about Rashid as well, is that even when he comes in at this, he comes in situations where England need to kind of bat out, as it were, and he bats with some intelligence. He's on 7 or 5. He's not trying to pull up trees or knock down trees. Although there he tries to swing into the onside, but it was a clever delivery from Arshdeep. Again, pace taken off it, and he was through the shot very, very early. Fortunately for him, it wasn't straight, so it's scuttled through to the keeper. At 148 for 8. Yes, we're looking at the T20 International's most wickets. Arshdeep now has 98, Chahal 96, Hardik 91, Bhuvni Kumar on 90. Will we ever see his like again? Arshdeep in, bowl short, pulled, and is that going to fall into the waiting hands of a long on? No, it's not got the distance on it. It's just the single. Hardick fields. England 149 for 8. What have we had from this over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got an extra ball because of the wide at the start. Yeah. A boundary would be very, very acceptable right now as far as England are concerned. Can Archer do the business? I'm not sure he can, because Hardship is mixing up his pace very well indeed. Let's see what he does. Here he's in. He comes down the wicket, and he's played that pretty well. He's lifted it over extra, and the man at cover is too square, and that is indeed a 4. The 150 is up for England. That must be about the first 4
target is met
in forever, because we've had now hit the 9th 4 of the innings. I'd like to see how many 4s we hit in the power play, because I imagine it was quite a few of those.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Sodahu says quality barbecue from Archer. Indeed it was. S. Sam says, why is England so bad, both men's and women's team? And to supplement that, Jason Hiscock says, Butler apart, England shit or what? Do they really have a clue how to play the conditions or the opposition?
You know,
this is not a bad score at the moment, you have to say, with 2 overs to go, if they manage to get a few more.
Yeah, but England haven't got the spinners, have they? They haven't got the skill, really, I don't think. But anyway, we'll see. Hardick back into the attack, bowls to Rashid. He's playing some sort of weird helicopter shot there. All he manages to do is get an inside edge onto his pad, and then it runs out towards backward point. They take a single. 154 for 8. And really, what you have to say is that the one bowler that didn't bowl well for India on Wednesday was Hardick, and he's come back and he's adapted, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't tried to bowl too quick and put too much pace on the ball. He's bowled intelligently. Here he is again to Archer. Bowls a short one wide of the off stump, and he carts that standing tall, cutting it into the ground and out to deep cover. Just the single though, and this is what we saw from Hardick on Wednesday. Is when he comes back, he tries to bowl as wide as he can, but within that blue guidance line. So if England do go after it, unless they get well outside the off stump, the chances are the big shot will come off the toe of the bat, and there's more chance of a catch. 155 for 8. Rashid on 9, facing up to Hardick now. Run rate of 8.45. He's in, and that is one. And he could have left that alone, to be fair, but he's launched it up over the infield, if there were an infield, and there isn't really. He's just got a single. Rashid had gone so wide outside his off stump that he didn't realise that Hardick was bowling another yard outside off stump. It's amazing. It actually hit the cut strip, to be honest, but Rashid is into double figures. England have just got to think about this. Let him bowl out there. Bring him back to you. If he's going to bowl it out there, maybe just have a look and leave it. Just use your judgment of where your off stump is. Hardick into Archer, and that's another one, but he's absolutely hammered that. It's a brilliant shot, but it's only brought in 1 run. Tilak, it's gone straight to him out there on the cover boundary, but he really that came off the bat like the proverbial tracer bullet, and it deserved 4 really. 157 for 8, 2 balls remaining in this over. In this match, spin has taken 6 for 118 from 14 overs. Pace has taken 1 for 38 from 4.4. I think that says something about England's approach.
Yeah,
Hardick,
it's what we were expecting from this pitch.
Yeah, big swing into the onside from Rashid, but he misses it, and through it goes to the keeper.
It is also just the 4th time when 4 or more spinners have taken a wicket for India in T20s.
Wow, there you go. Washington Sunder came on, took a wicket with his first ball, didn't he? Got rid of Duckett and hasn't bowled since, I don't think. Hardick then to complete his spell. It's only his second over, actually. He's in, bowls, and again Rashid tries to pull that, but it was slow and loopy, and it's out. It's caught behind. He got a little thin edge through. I did wonder. The keeper just sort of threw it up in the air. I was describing the. What was I describing as?
Nonchalant about it.
I was describing as Sansom as the captain a few minutes ago, and I just realised, of course, he's keeping wicket. Yeah, well, that's a wicket for Hardick. Pace.
We're talking about Sky at that time.
Yeah, God knows what I was completely confused. Rashid goes for 10 from 11, and Hardick has taken the second wicket amongst pace bowlers today.
It was a slower ball. So he took it with spin. That was an option.
Yes, you could argue that. Yeah, totally. Messi.
Farong says, "Why the run out, Joffrey? You already have an IPL contract." Lockie 6 says, "I believe this Rashid bloke scores tons
for fun."
Future opener, says Sudahu. Lots of love for Abhishek. So shiver me timbers, a proper old salt, says Parrot Bagel. It's so good to hear from you again, El Shopanos, says Leah. And yeah, we're back.
Final over. England again find themselves going into the final over, 9 wickets down. Slower ball from Arshdeep. Archer's waiting for it, although it was quite short. He couldn't wait long enough. It was a knuckle ball, very clever knuckle short ball, and he's hit over the top of that. Annoying for England. 157 for 9. What did you say, Messi? 165, 163? Well,
something like that. Yeah, 65, I think.
I think they'll take that. I think they'll take 165 now. Arshdeep in. Oh, almost yorks him. They're going to run through for a single as this comes off the inside edge. Flies very quickly along the ground to the man at on the 45. And in fact, a yard either side, that would have sped away for 4. But India get a little bit lucky there, perhaps. 158 for 9. Archer into double figures, 10 from 8. And it's Woody, who will no doubt be celebrating Wimbledon's point at Stadium franchise today, as the most famous cricketing AFC Wimbledon fan, apart from me, of course. Arshdeep in, he's looking for the Yorker, ends up being a full toss, and Woody, beautiful shot from him. He waited for it. He opened the face and he threaded it behind backward point all the way to the boundary for one of these.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
It's very well played.
It really was.
Very well.
Considering that was his first ball as well. He's again a bowler who can bat. Arshdeep over the wicket now, and he aims a big more of a cut really, got the front leg out of the way, but made no contact. 162 for 9, 2 balls remain. England,
they need 1 run to beat Australia, because Australia scored 162 in Adelaide today.
Right, okay. Well, the other thing is that if they can get 8 runs off these last 2 balls, then they will have got the average score in the IPL last year on this ground.
Oh, there you go.
So that might make it interesting. We shall see. Arshdeep 1 for 37. It's about better than that, I would say. But it's the spinners who've been doing most of it. Onto the back foot goes Woody. He sets off very quickly, but the ball's going to dribble to Suryakumar at extra, and it'll just be one ball remaining. 163, said Messi Jez.
165.
Oh, you said 165.
I said 163 is what the West Indies scored in Multan today against Pakistan.
That's a low-scoring game, isn't it?
How on earth they got to 163? To be honest,
is that just one day?
Yep, they've got a 9-run lead in the first innings at the end of the first day.
20 wickets fell on the first day. In comes Archduke. Final ball of the innings. Looks for the Yorker. Dug out by Wood. He sets off for 1. It's going through square leg. He's going to come back for the second. It was Arter, in fact. And he does get 2. And Messi Jez was right on the money. But did you do that in your GPL selection, Messi?
I didn't even get around to doing my GPL. Nobody did.
Nobody. Well, at least we can't lose it from the casino's point of view. 165 for 9, 44 off the last 30 balls, 3 wickets, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Really, 5 out of the last 30 balls went for boundaries. That's not enough, but that is kind of down to the fact that, what was left out there to bat. None of the big strikers of the ball were there really. But it's all been spin really again, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's a defendable. I think it's a defendable score. But to your point, without spinners, it is going to be very difficult to defend the score.
Well, Adil Rasheed's going to have to bowl well.
But he can only bowl 4.
And he can only bowl 4, and then Livingston. You haven't got Bethel, have you? No Bethel today. Have we got any other spin options? If we haven't got Bethel, we haven't got Will Jacks anymore. Sorry, who?
Cars.
Well, no, I'm talking about spinners. I don't think England have got anything more than Rashid and Livingston. So
I was just asking if Cars bowls spin.
Maybe you should try. Yeah, maybe that would be the way to go. Absolutely. Livingston is already. It's
really strange, isn't it? Because it doesn't seem very long ago that England was absolutely full of all-rounders in their white ball teams, and now that they're quite frankly stretched to the limit and they've got a long tail, it's weird.
Well, I think the problem is that they are all. I mean, you can argue that Overton and Cast to a certain extent are bowling all-rounders, but they're not good enough. As batsmen, if you see what I mean, as a frontline, hitting batsman would be, I think that's the problem. They need a kind of a sort of Glenn Phillips or a Tim David or someone like that, really, coming in at 8 or whatever. Something's tickling.
I've just realised I'm amazed he hasn't jumped onto YouTube to mention this, but Farong would be in his element, of course. Duckett should be bowling.
Well, yes. I funnily enough, I was going to say that, and then it went out of my head. Archer generally bowls what is apparently half decent left arm off spin. He does do in the nets. I have seen him do that, or I've seen footage of him do that.
You want his pace. I mean, he's the one pace bowler you definitely want bowling. Well, him and Wood actually.
I think if you bowl different types of delivery in 2 spells, I think you should be allowed to bowl 2 spells. I think you should be allowed to bowl 8 overs. 4 overs of left arm spin and 4 overs of pace. I think that would be.
I was just
totally
listening to. I was just offline listening to Akshar Patel at the post-match, post-innings interview, and his point is that because it's such an easy wicket to bat on once the ball comes through, 180 in their view was something they'd be worried about. At 165 is very chaseable.
Well, I kind of like that sort of approach from Akshar, because it if he, in effect he's saying we should win this, and so that kind of pride comes before a fall kind of thing. That perhaps a little bit of complacency. Who knows? Anyway, we are going to take a little.
But he was asked that question, so.
Well, yeah, but I suppose it.
And he's not English.
You're not going to go in and say, "Oh, this is going to be really tough," are you?
Yeah.
Well,
unless you're Hendo, and then you're going to say.
I don't know. I don't know. They're going to say they're doomed, but I think they're going to say, by saying that England, they're basically saying England have underperformed or they have overperformed, and so I think that obviously you're not going to say we're going to lose, but you might say, oh well, it could be it's Could be fun.
I think that's just not the way these guys. This generation is
built,
wired.
Yeah. No, you're probably right.
I need to get a cup of tea in the break, so I'm going to bugger off and be back for
we're back for the first over, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go in search of some podcasts. Where are the podcasts, Bear? I'm just looking. Where is the is it the Wirecast thing? Where's the podcast thing then? I can't see it. Oh, there they are. The Bear is going to play something. What are we going to play? We're going to play Bishop and the Bear. Bit of the Bishop and the Bear. Why not? I don't know which one it is. It's it's 27 minutes of episode 84 left. You won't need anything like that. But
and got hammered. You kind of thought that the same thing might happen.
Here we go.
No, New Zealand were magnificent.
And wasn't that under Blundell's captaincy? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it can't be often that a team goes to India and 2 of their bowlers are in the top 3 wicket takers for the series. Mitchell Santner, 13. I mean, to me, he just ambles into the wicket. The Bears are better critique of bowling than me. You know, bowlers to excite. You don't put him in your top 5 globally, and yet, look at what a performance! What a performance!
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, to win them the series.
Yeah, exactly. He got 13 in that last test. But it's interesting when
13 last
when you look at the difference between actually how you bowl in Pakistan and India. Actually, is quite interesting because in India, you look at someone like Jadeja. Doesn't really vary his pace or his flight. Well, certainly not his flight, and his pace doesn't vary that much. In India, you get Washington Sundar, you get Axar Patel. The wicket does so much, and it has a variable bounce as well. So what they tend to do is just bowl actually quite fast, quite flat, and let the wicket do the work. Whereas actually in Pakistan, it was as much about flight because the pitch was so slow and low. Slightly different in India, and Santner is very much give it a bit of darting and let the pitch do the work, and it's been very successful. I mean, it is interesting. You wonder whether India just expected to roll New Zealand and kind of got caught on a hop.
The thing that interests me with India is when they play test matches, I always wonder how much do the players really, really want to be playing test cricket. It's kind of always a question I ask myself. I think the crowds were okay for this series, but I don't know, for some reason you always get the impression that they'd rather be playing white ball stuff and rather be playing the IPL. I think potentially different when they come overseas to England and maybe Australia, but for a test series like New Zealand at home, I don't know, are they really up for it?
Well, that's interesting. Maybe not. I mean, they certainly seem to play like they weren't. It was very carefree. It's almost like India decided they're going to play baseball too, and it failed them drastically. I mean, they're all exactly as you said. I mean, Indo was saying on the WhatsApp, wasn't it? It's time for a change. Some of these guys have got to go, and blah blah blah. Bowling seems to be okay, although there's, apart from Jasprit Bumrah in the pace department, I guess some of the boys are coming to the end of their careers. I mean, they had Arshdeep Singh was in the squad, wasn't he? But I mean, I guess Shami's getting old. He's injured.
Shami's not been taken to Australia either.
Yeah,
he's been dropped.
And you've got what's his name? He was really good for a couple of years. I can't remember his name.
Siraj, you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking Siraj. Yeah, I mean, he seems to have gone a little bit off the boil. You've only got Bumrah left of what was a very good pace attack. It seems to be on the boil still. And obviously you've got Ashwin and you've got Jadeja, and they're knocking on the doors. I mean, they must be 35, 36, 37, the pair of them. So I don't rate Axar and I don't rate Washington Sundar as much as I rate those two. So maybe there are some changes that have got to come through. I mean, KL Rahul's knocking on and is inconsistent. Jaiswal looks the business. Rohit's been out of form as far as I can see for quite a while now.
Well, he's averaged 15, I think, in the series so far.
Doesn't seem to really care that much. Virat doesn't score as many runs as he used to these days, So I mean, they
for him.
And they often start their tail. Sometimes they have Ashwin at 6. That's quite a long tail if things don't go your way at the top of the order and you can get through at the top. So they got some issues of their own. In India.
I wouldn't be surprised if Virat. Well, I mean, he might want to retire at home. I wouldn't for Test cricket. I wouldn't be surprised if England in the summer is his last overseas tour. I don't know who they'll have in India at home, but he's 35 now, I think, and he might just want to focus on some franchise stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, it's not the end of that series. There's a test at the Wankhede. The third test starts at the Wankhede on Friday.
Yeah.
How do you approach that if you're India? I mean, to me, there's two schools of thought on dead rubbers. One is there's no such thing in a test series, and a test match is a test match. If I was India, I'd be busting everything to win that and at least get something back.
Well, the World Test Championship, Tony, as well.
They want to be in the final again, don't they?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get up the table. England, of course, had, we got a lot of points deductions, but people would think we had somewhat of a shout before we'd be beaten. Well, India are currently leading that on 62. I don't know how much attention people really paid to this, but India are currently leading on 62. They do it as a percentage, so 62, Australia 62, Sri Lanka 55, New Zealand 50. And it's the top two that we'll face in the final, which I think is middle of July at Lords. So
England would have loved to have been there. I don't think it's feasible now.
It wasn't. When we lost to the last test to Sri Lanka, we were out of it. If we'd have won that last test to Sri Lanka, we'd have had to win every possible
When we were sloppy again with the bat. When we were sloppy.
Yeah, we were sloppy again with the bat. Yeah.
Rashin Ravindra, and by the way, what a star turn he is. Again, he's been absolutely fantastic for them. So you put him next to Santner and Conway and Henry. Sarfaraz Khan really was the only Pant, I suppose. Sarfaraz Khan were up, and Jaiswal. Those three emerged with enough credit. I think Virat Kohli wants to get a few runs under his belt.
But Ajaz Patel as well, Tony, didn't he? Did he take 10 for in an innings and then was dropped?
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah, he took 10 for the last time he was in India and then was dropped. Yeah. Well, because he's the second spinner and everyone takes a second. It's like us taking. We've got Bashir as our main spinner now, but every time we go to the subcontinent, you put Rayan Ahmed and Leach in the squad because you need the extra spinners. But generally, anywhere else, you're just going to have one spinner. So, I mean, he is their second spinner when they go there.
He always seems to perform, though. He had a decent couple of games.
Very helpful tracks. I think you can be a pretty average spinner in India or some of these subcontinental countries. You can be a reasonably average spinner, and there's enough assistance.
Well, Root took 5 for 8, and we all know your thoughts on him. Yeah.
No, he's not bad as a third spinner. I've always thought he's a bit of a golden arm when he's required. He's even done it in places you wouldn't expect him. When the odds are against, he's come on and got a cheeky LBW or something. So he's useful, especially when you're in places where you don't need a second spinner, but innings are dragging on and you just want to change it up. He is a useful man to have there.
Right. Well, that's probably we should move on. England will be starting a new series. We, of course, will be there to watch it. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, the white ball series against the West Indies. I was struggling post-Test series to sort of get some enthusiasm up for it, I've got to admit. But I think the squad selection for England has got enough interest in it because they're clearly trying things out. You've got no Butler, but
he's injured still, isn't he?
Livingston. Well, not certainly for the 3 ODIs. They hope, I believe, he'll be fit for the T20s. You've got Salt and Pepper. Could get them together, which of course would be great fun for everybody. But you've got, if you look at the makeup of the England squad, it's clearly an invitation for some people to put their hand up and, make a case for themselves, isn't it?
I mean, there are a couple of people. There are a couple of people I'm really, really excited to see. One of them is John Turner, Hampshire boy. He's decent bowler. Earmarking him for a Test debut at some point, I think. But the person I'm really excited to see watch bowling.
He's a Johannesburg boy, by the way.
Yeah, well,
but he plays but he does play for Hampshire. I'll give you that.
He's Jaffa Chauhan. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, the York, who had a fantastic blast, didn't he?
He did, and his people who don't know, he had a 90-minute net session with Joe.
And we are back. It is time for England to bowl. I think it's a reasonable score by. Well, I don't expect them to win, but I think they've got, at least this time, they've got something to bowl at. Is what I will say.
It's a surprisingly good score, put it like that.
Yeah, it is, considering they consistently lost wickets. But that's what makes me worry that it's not nearly enough, because if England can manage that with a bunch of tail enders, essentially, then, well, I suppose if England get early wickets, then they can put pressure on, and I guess that's what they've got to do. It's never that easy to chase 8 and over. You can make slip-ups and you can fail. Jofra's going to bowl the first ball. It's down a leg side and does get stopped. Well, half parried by Brook at the man on the 45. Did they just go for 1 or did they go for 2 in the end? They just got the 1. Let's have some jingles for the people out there. We have bowling. We got... Why can I not see him? There he is. This man.
He will break your helmet, break your heart. Hotter than lava, cooler than Bogart. In your face, at your stumps, on your toes, on your mum.
What? 144.4 his first ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold them back, does it?
No. He bowled well, I thought, in the first game.
He did. Bowled really well.
Just hope it get him fit for a bloody test match, maybe. Oh, flashed at by Abhishek outside of off stump. It goes nowhere, and there is no run. The batsmen are this man.
Sharma police. It's Abhishek, man.
Yeah, it's Abhishek Sharma. It's 28 seconds long. Not having that. And we got Sanji Sampson. Yeah, that was nicked off of someone. We could be getting some YouTube strikes. Archer around the wicket. That's bunted up in the air by Abhishek over the top of cover. And that will make its way down to the cover boundary for 4 runs. Good shot over into space. Don't have to worry, there's no one out there. What did he get the other day? He batted really well, didn't he? It was him who got the 80 odd. Was it 80? 88? 88? 89? Something like that.
Yeah.
Batted superbly, I thought.
Yeah, he's so calm about it too.
Exactly. I mean, that even that shot was like he had all the time in the world to play that.
Yeah.
He looks so very young. Fisher's at that one, short and wide outside his off stump. Looks for a wide. Doesn't get it.
He looks a bit like Jaiswal in white ball cricket.
Yeah, he facially he reminds me a little bit of Shivman Gill, actually. Very the way he looked at, maybe because he just looks so young and fresh faced. And I guess Jaiswal does too. That's a lovely shot though. Didn't really have to hit it, just use the pace of the ball, got it out in the middle of that, timed it. Gives himself some room and goes again. Ooh, just short of 6 over extra cover. That's a fantastic shot. He's gone outside his leg stump and clattered that. Great timing. It's 4 runs. He's really on it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was at 146.
What are you seeing? I can't see the bloody... I can't see any speeds. I've been looking for them on my screen. But
bottom right hand side usually.
Bottom right hand. They come on quite late actually.
Above where they've got the 10404.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking for them, but I haven't seen any. How weird! But you two are. You've got to be a little bit more diligent. One feels. Well, they got 9. I guess it's the power play. England shouldn't panic. It's a good first over though by Abhishek. He's got himself 8 of 4 deliveries. Archer comes in around the wicket. That's gone up over third man. Ooh, again, just short of the boundary for 6 runs, but it's 4. Lovely shot again. Lifts it. Archer's laughing, can't quite believe it. I mean, 2 of those balls were hit. There was width on offer. That's still fantastically paid, but yeah, good batting by Abhishek. Over to you, Messi.
Not much new. Matthew Cullen, when we were talking about how Archer should be able to have 4 fast overs and 4 overs of spin, he said, how about 16 overs of all combinations of left, right arm, and pace and spin? Yeah, that'd be a challenge. V No Name says, need an anchor. Well, Joe Root would be a very good anchor for England, it seems to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say Joe Root could get in this side. I think he could score a run rate of 140, 150, just like anyone else. I don't think you get, loads and loads of 6s. We get a lot of 4s. Yeah, and they'll do. And Woody is into the attack, and there seems to, Sanju Samson doesn't seem particularly sure about that at all. I don't know if he pulled out of that or just played really, really, really late. But it was a dot ball, and there was no run. England going all-out pace.
He pulled out of that, yeah.
You think he pulled out of it?
Yeah, I think he pulled the bat out.
Well, I'm not sure. I think he got done for pace a little bit. Pulled out of it a bit late. I think the ball sort of raced past.
I think he had good intentions, but the ball was past him before he carried out his intention.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Second ball is guided down a third man, and that will be the one. I would expect India to win. Let me just see what the odds are actually at the bookies. England were 5-2 at the start of the game. By the way, Liverpool are leading, you'll be pleased to know. Against Grubby's beloved Ipswich.
So England are at 6-1.
I think that's worth a punt. I don't know. Bet 365.
Well, on Betfair they're $6.80 for me anyhow. I assume Betfair are the same around the world.
Yeah, I use Bet 365. They're 9-2. That's down the leg side, and that will be a wide. 9-2, 4-1.
Actually, they're going up.
Bear, you should put in
Betfair. Should use Betfair.
Yeah, I know I should use Betfair, but all my money's in fucking Bet 365, so I'll just carry on using that. I'm going to take I'm going to take 4-1. That's not bad odds in a 2-horse race. We're still a long way to go. Of course, it could go horribly wrong, and these two get a stand of 110.
4-1, not 6-1.
Yeah, and Bet 365. It's only 4-1.
They know that you have your money.
Oh, now that's got to be close. There's a big appeal for LBW. It's been given. Abhishek's been given. That did swing in. It went again. I can't see no fucking paces on here. There we go. 147. So it's pretty quick. It did seem to shape in a little bit to Abhishek. He's not a tall man. It did seem to hit him quite hard on the pads, though. I don't know. India doesn't really goes over the top, and he's quite skinny. Well, he's reviewed it, but it's been given out. I think
that's not going over the top. The only thing I can think of is if it was moving down the leg.
I don't think it was moving enough down the leg. I thought it straightened quite nicely. I thought it was going to hit middle.
I think he'll just be clipping the bails.
I think he's unlucky to be given out at that pace. I mean, it wasn't massively full.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
If he was given not out, that would have been probably umpires.
Oh no! Having said that, his back leg's bent. It's in the crease. It's missed the bat, and it's hit him right in front of middle stump, just below the thigh pad on a bent back leg on a short man.
Yeah.
I'm giving that absolutely plumb. That's a pretty poor review.
It was plumb.
Yeah,
it's completely plumb.
And that's where pace
really does it. Well, this is Baz's theory, isn't it? The Bazball theory is pace, 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 pace. Is what he says.
Well, you got to have real. I mean, 147 is quick, I reckon. If you do that 140, you're not going to get the same result.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's 147, so it's 91 miles an hour, and it has. It's going to hit below the stumps. It's a really poor decision to a review, to be honest. And we have to say goodbye to Abhishek. Well, that'll please England. My 4-1 suddenly becomes slightly better.
Did you put in something?
Yeah, I'll put a fiver on England at 4-1. Fuck it. They've got to have some interest in these things, otherwise they become quite dull, you know.
Yeah.
And what better than, you know, backing an English underdog? I mean, we've slated them pretty much for, what, the entirety of the first game, the first innings of this. I still don't think it was enough runs. But you never know, 160 can create something. They can win it from here. They're not as bad as we've been slating them out. They've not got a bad bowling attack, I think.
But now that you put money on them, you've got to talk them out.
Well, of course. Got to be positive now, and Indo.
Much as it goes against my instincts to want England to do well, I do want to see a decent competition, because it gets very dull if it's a walkover.
Yeah, I mean, the women's Ashes has been pretty fucking dull.
Yeah.
I thought the last game was okay. I was a bit upset that they went off in that last over. But I mean, that's the one.
Not half as upset as Heather Knight.
Well, exactly. But I mean, that's the one sort of good spot in 5 games. You know, that one again swings into the pads. Tilak Varma is able to just turn it around the corner. We're going to single. He has a jingle that goes like this.
At the rise of the sun, he emerges inside. He hides in the night. Tilak Varma, Tilak Varma.
And Woody, good first over. And England will be glad to see the back of Abhishek. He was pretty fantastic in that first game, and he'd started out here like very well. Sky, of course, didn't get any runs. Well, he's next, isn't he? Tilak Varma did he do anything in the first game? Can't remember. Tipped into the offside. There's no run. I mean, I can't remember who got runs apart from Abhishek in the first. Sky was out for bugger all, wasn't he?
Where are we? It was Sanju got 26 and Varma got 19. Nobody else needed to make anything.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's true. It was only 130 they were chasing, wasn't it? Woody is in. Oh, that again hurries him. So that manages to get the bat down on it. Works into mid wicket. There's now 2 overs gone, 17 for 1. That's a great over for Woody. 1 for 4.
Matley,
the last one was
Matley says
49.
Yeah, Matley says we got this. Stephen Kell says Mark Wood rears up in delight, and emoji of a horse. Mick Ty says, excuse me, he says, I think the angle that Bazball has vindicated everything KP was asking for hasn't been discussed enough.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. If KP is mentioned, it's more than enough.
Bloody KP. Thankfully, I don't watch enough of the shit that he's on to actually have to listen to him much. But whenever I do catch him, I think, what a cock. That's an attempted pull down the leg side by Sanju Samson. And it gets big on him, and he gets nothing on it. And it's a dot ball.
Yes, I have a much more visceral reaction to him than I do to someone like Vaughan, for example.
Yeah, Vaughan's annoying as well, but at least he said some things with some
worse
sense.
than KP.
Do you? Yeah, he can be. He's a bit of a twat.
Yeah.
Occasionally, he comes up with some good cricketing nous points, but not.
Why do your cricketers turn out to be such twats?
I don't know. That's pulled. Ooh, not very well timed by Sanju Samson. Got big on him again. It just about flapped over the top of mid wicket. The throw was not very quick by Bryden Cass, and they got back for 2.
My view, for what it's worth in Indo, is that generally speaking, the ones who don't turn out to be twats are the ones who've got a much more rounded view of life and don't depend on cricket in the same way. You know, people like Atherton and Ponting, and you know, they're thinkers.
Nasser.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I like Athers.
Yeah,
and he writes really well as
Ponting,
well.
Ponting, seriously. I mean, Ponting is a bit of yes and no. I mean, he's sometimes completely unbearable, and sometimes.
Well, that's slapped into the leg side. It's going to be out. Sanju Samson is gone. Well, this is interesting. 4-1 looks like suddenly not bad. Sanju Samson has plopped that out to deep mid wicket. Again, it's quick and it's 148 Ks. Maybe the pace is the way. Maybe it's going to work with enough runs on the board, he says. New ball. Sanju Samson has tried to pull that. He's clothed it, really. It's gone way up in the air. It's been caught out in the deep. Who caught it? Was it Bryden Cast out there? Yeah, I think it's Bryden Cast out in the deep. Yeah, it's Bryden Cast. And Sanju Samson has to go. 5 off of 6, was that? It was indeed. So England prospering at the beginning.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Again, that was pace making the ball lift in a way that wouldn't have happened for anybody else.
Indeed. Well, here's the man. What's this dude?
Surya Kumar.
But
Surya. Now I know the.
Go on.
This has to be the fastest opening pair in the world right now, in any format in cricket.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Woody doesn't normally open, does he? I mean, they don't really spare him for that. He usually, they say he doesn't like the new ball. Usually comes on at the end of the power play, but it's been a stroke today. Archer in. That's slapped by Sky. Square on the offside. Yeah. That's a good shot. Out to the boundary. Tiny little bit of width, and he jumped on it. And it's 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good shot.
Yeah. Well, given how quickly the white ball loses its shine and its hardness, it makes sense for him in white ball cricket to be opening, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about pace is you get it slightly wrong and it goes. That's the thing, isn't it? You know.
Oh yeah.
But
you've got 2 men out.
The problem with T20 is whatever you do, if you go slightly wrong, you're gone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're bowling.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a bowler's game. Well, that's going to be a wide down the leg side, I believe. Do you think any bet on that, did he? Yeah, it is. It's going to be a wide down the leg side. Taken by Salt. I think the problem is that no opener scored any runs yet this series. I mean, it's 2 games and it's T20. I guess something goes right every once in a while. Yeah, he was late through that shot, and he went deep in his crease there, Sanju Samson as well. Just too quick.
Yeah.
The last ball was 148 Ks. Archer's in again. I think he slowed that one down, and it's been cut. Out to the boundary for 4 runs.
Lovely shot. Really nice.
I'm looking over a 4.
Again, it was just a touch of width there, wasn't it? And just allowed him to play through the ball. He's very deep in his crease. His front foot is on the line of the crease. His back foot is, only a foot away from his stumps.
And those wrists are amazing.
Yeah.
They're just... He's gorgeous to watch when he's on song, Surya Kumar.
Well, he's faced 2 balls and he's on 8. Not bad. Ooh, flashed at that one though, and that wasn't far from the edge of the bat. It's gone through the Salt and there's no run. 142 that one. And that's the end of the over. Over to you, Messi.
Okay, Leah says, Heather, Lady Snowblood Knight was kind of the tragic heroine of the T20s of the Women's Ashes. She's tall above all the corpses like a true Chanbara protagonist. Yeah, Heather Knight was excellent.
Siva Brunt seems to have been okay, and a couple of other people have chipped in.
She's been very up and down. Leah says, what annoys me about the switch to Blue Sky is the fact that I have to find the accounts of KP, Vaughan, boycotts, etc. again and get blocked by them all over again. I don't even know if they're there yet, Leah.
Well,
they're happy in that pit of misery that's called Twitter. Or X.
Yeah, but I'm honestly not enjoying Blue Sky that much because the engagement is so much less.
Yeah,
it is, but but there's the viciousness on Twitter is getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean, that was a wide down the leg side. A bit unlucky, really. Tillett went right across his stumps and tried to paddle sweep it. Yeah, it went down the leg side, but it was hanging in at the stumps. And he'd gone right across. I think that's a bit unfair. Well, he's facing up though. Woody comes in again. That one's across him. Leaves it through the keeper. It won't be a wide, and there is no run. Yeah, I mean, I went on fucking Elon Musk's feed for some reason when he tweeted something stupid, and I wanted to see what the. In the old days, it was exactly that. It used to be a back and forth. You know, you get some lefties having a pop back and all that shit. And now it's just total agreement. Right wing nut jobs just banging on and on and on and on. There was no alternative view. No people having an argument. Just positive reinforcement. It was pretty shit. Wood in short and defended by Tillett. Just drops it down in front of him. Takes a couple of steps down the track, but there's no run.
I saw a comment by someone today that apparently on Instagram, all users have automatically been following Trump and Vance unless you go in there and change it.
Well, that's not quite correct. What happened is if you were following Joe Biden or the President of the United States, of course, it automatically changed over to the new president. So I think there was...
that might have been what happened.
I think that's probably the main thing that happened,
Yeah, I mean, those boys are just... Oh, now, that's a horrible shot from Tillett Balm. He's tried to pull that. He's way too late on it. Lucky not to get smashed in the face. But he's missed it. It's gone through to the keeper and there's no run. As we watch Woody coming straight on. He bowls from reasonably wide of the crease, does Woody. We're going to see him fall over again. Is that what we're going to see? No, we're not. Putting all his effort in. It's a good ball though.
48?
It is
148, yeah. It's over 147, 144, 149, 148. Woody in again and dabs down towards third man. Joffre's down there though, and it'll just be the one this time. Bringing Sky back on strike. See what he can do with Woody. Got a duck in the first one, didn't he, Sky? Second baller, or was it first baller? The 30 for 2 in
Sudhu says yes, they are the fastest pair when neither of them is on the operating table.
Yeah, which is right now. This is quite handy. Cast is pretty nippy as well. I just don't think Jamie Overton gets a place in my side. I don't understand what the theory is behind that. I guess maybe if Bethel was fit, you'd have Bethel in the side, along with Jamie Smith, and that gives you that one extra batter. Where you get the extra bowler from, though, I guess that means you've got to try and get 4 overs out of Liam Livingston. Woody into the pads. Clipped with no real timing by Sky, but there's no one out in the deep. Of course, it is the power play. Just avoided square leg, and it just about made it down to the square leg boundary for 4 runs. Caught it very low on the back, and the bat turned in his hands. He hit it. He probably took some of the pace off it. Just over the top of square leg. Who was Bryden Cass? Pretty tall man, but he couldn't get up there. 12 or 4 now for Sky, looking dangerous. And just that's a horrible shot. Fished at one well outside his off stumps. Feet didn't move at all. He just plopped his bat out there, waved at it. Fortunately, it was miles from the ball. It goes through to the keeper, and there's no run. That ends the over. 40 for 2, I believe.
Pirate Mitchell says, don't worry, Messi. Blue Sky will become vicious in due course. It is still American. And Leah says, funny you say that in Indo, because my engagement on Blue Sky is much better than what I got on Twitter before I nuked my account. And Lockie6 says, trying to move to Truth Social for real balance. Yeah, and our friend whose name I can't read because it's in a script I can't read says, here comes the left wing rant about Twitter. You guys live in an echo chamber. What about the cricket?
Yeah, we do live in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
I don't really care, I've got to say. I don't do social media. I don't go on Facebook. The only time I'm on social media is when I do this. With you guys, our listeners. You're the people I love. That's cut and cut well and hard by Tilak Varma. Gave himself some room outside the leg stump. I've just been carted a bit today without bowling particularly bad. A lot of people are taking chances from it. It comes on fast, it goes off fast, and that one certainly did. And it's gone all the way down to the point boundary for 4 runs. Good shot. Again, aerial. Went over the top of whoever was at point. He sort of stuck a paw up. Probably a little bit late. Tilak moves on to 6 off 7. That one's into his pads, and that's gone a very long way. That's gone out the ground. It's gone down the tunnel, or where all the tractors and shit come into the ground to get on and do their stuff. He went down on one knee and just picked it up. It's a beautiful shot, and it's
very Rishabh Pant kind of shot.
Yeah, very much so. And at that pace, that's pretty well played. 6 runs. I think they've lost that ball. It's still going down the road. Jofra's getting a bit of tap today. I guess it happens to the best of you. He's like, I can't believe this. What's going on?
Well, it's interesting. After 5 overs, they were 2 for 41 in the last game. This time they're 2 for 44. Is it? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Before the end of the 5th over. So they're doing all right.
Yeah, and they chased that down in about 11 overs, didn't they?
Yeah, something like that. 12.5.
Yeah. Archer again bowls it very full, and this time it's just defended out to point, and there is no run.
I mean, last time I think Archer bowled 4 overs straight at the beginning, bowling reasonably well. But it does sort of leave you without a lot left in the cabinet for later on, doesn't it?
It does. I think they're trying to get that 3rd wicket, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who's in next? Hardik Pandya? That's all gloved. Oh, but it's gone straight over. It's been gloved over the top of a very fine leg, basically a backstop, and it's actually gone for 6 runs. Unbelievable.
Butler smiling.
I don't think anyone can quite believe that. That's a 50 up and 4.4 overs.
That goes into the 2nd tier, hit by his glove. Hitting his glove.
Jeez.
Maybe it was a top edge, actually. I think his bat actually caught up with it. I don't think it was a glove. It may have even been at the back of the bat. And it's only 62 metres, and it's gone a long way over.
Yeah, I was going to say that those
it's a really short boundary, man.
Straight boundaries, they're like Eden Park almost. Yeah,
that's about 40. It's only about 40 metres.
Yeah, I think the side of the bat.
Yes.
That one is cut down to the short 3rd man. He'll get a single. So this over's gone for 17. And Archer's gone for 41 in 2.5 overs. Expensive. Slightly slower ball. Tilak's now gone to 19 off 11. And Sky is 12 off 5. England need another wicket, one would suggest. One more over the power play after this. England were 47 for 2, so England weren't that far behind, to be fair. But England kept losing bloody wickets at the wrong time. And Sky is going to face up to Jofra, who has another attempted cut. It's another slower delivery. Completely Fox goes through to the keeper, and it's a dot ball to end the over. And India 51 for 2. Over to you, Messi.
Martley says, yeah, we do live in an echo chamber. And Parrot Badger says, and we love it. All hail the bear.
Thank you very much.
Leah says that script I can't read is Thai. Yes, thank you. That makes sense. I actually haven't had a look over on Blue Sky recently to see if anybody's added something, but I don't think they have recently.
Damn, I can't pull the screen down with my toe.
Oh, the mad old bat's with us. She says, happy to have a bit of guerrilla cricket today. I got all excited posting a comment on YouTube only to have them vanish after 2 minutes. So to quote Toya Wilcox's song, it's a mystery.
Oh my God, that's a well-timed shot. Bryden Castle's into the attack, and his first ball goes for 6. Tilak kind of pulls out of the way at the same time pulling. Managed to get enough bat on it that it's gone down to fine leg for 4 runs, and suddenly this doesn't look so amusing.
It's a pretty extraordinary shot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Didn't look like he was in the greatest of positions, but managed to hold enough of it and get enough bat on it.
So that's 136 kph, and that's not going to be
tennis serve.
Driven at by Tilak Varma. It goes past the outside edge though and through to the keeper, and there's no run. There was certainly width there. I know what they're trying to tell me here. We're just looking at Tilak Varma play that shot that went out the ground from all different angles. It's lovely. Sort of nod of appreciation from Jofra. He's got an extraordinarily big chain on today. Love it. Bryden Castle's in. That's good and straight. It's knocked back past the bowler down to mid-off, and it'll be a single.
Blue Baby 67 asks a question I don't have an answer to. He says, or she says, have England men and women ever both lost on the same day?
Well, I have no answer.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. I'd have to say that's probably true. They did a fair bit of losing to England. Fair bit of winning too.
Yeah.
But since 2019, everything's gone. Oh no, we won the T20 World Cup, didn't we, in Australia as well? Was that 2 years ago?
You won the 50 over World Cup in 2019 as well.
Yeah. Oh, bowled. Oh my God, there we go. That's a breakthrough to Sky. I don't know if he was just trying to lie it down towards third man, but he got it all wrong. It came off the inside of the bat instead of the outside half of the bat and run down. It's got an inside edge come back, gone under his bat, onto his stumps, and Sky has gone. That is just what England needed, and we have to say goodbye.
Cars looks a bit puzzled as to how he got there.
Well, yeah.
I think it was Sky's outside edge, which took the stumps.
The outside I thought it was inside. I thought he was trying to run it down, but his bat was slightly crooked and it got the inside and came back onto his stumps. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have a look on the replay. But England desperately needed that. So 58 for 3. England get another wicket reasonably quick, could make it quite interesting. Who's next? Did we even get this far the other day? Hardik Pandya. We did actually, didn't we? Because Rinku Singh didn't bat the other day. Hardik's going to come in.
No, it's not.
It's not. Oh.
And in breaking news,
It's Jurel. No, I haven't got a jingle for him. It's Dhruv Jurel, isn't it?
Yep.
I wonder if I just put in his surname, I'll probably get him money. Jurel. Dhruv Jurel. There we go. Let's bung him in a car and then we'll play his jingle. But he'll face his first ball first, which he pulls out towards deep square leg. Well, there is a man, it'll be a single. And here he is.
Not a character from Souls.
Yeah, he's just trying to run that down. And
he was one of the very few players to play well against New Zealand, and then he played well in the first class match in Australia, but he wasn't, I think. He didn't play in the tests after that.
He's a keeper, isn't he? He's kept in a series that we watched. Tilak has another slash at one wide of his off stump, and this is his outside edge again, goes through to the keeper, and there's no run.
I think he kept against England when
Yeah, he did. It was that in the series in India, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years ago was that 2023, wasn't it, when we lost 4-1?
Yeah, when Pant wasn't.
Pant, that's right, because Pant was when he'd had his car crash, wasn't it? And he was out.
So Siddhu says a bit of trolling is required. It helps develop a thicker skin. Imagine how fast Archer would be if he wasn't carrying Mr. T jewellery.
I like his Mr. T jewellery. I think it's cool.
Well, Lucky 6 says, is it true that Joffre was ruined by being forced to bowl 500 overs during a tour of New Zealand?
Well, it was not 500, but it was an awful lot. I mean, he bowled like 45 overs in one innings. That was what really broke him on a flat deck where we were getting slaughtered. Root didn't know what else to do, and he just kept turning back to him, didn't he? Well, the new bowler is in. His first ball is driven out to the deep cover boundary. It'll just be 1 run. And that bowler is this man.
Adil Rashid on the 45. 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 Adil can turn it both ways. Adil can turn it. Adil can turn it both ways. Adil can turn it. Adil can turn it both ways. Adil can turn it on the 45.
And he got that one to turn quite a lot, actually. Turned back into Tilat Varma, who had a swipe at it, but seemed to bite and turn quite sharply. Throw was in, and then Salt knocked the bail off the bat, and he's appealed. And I don't think Tilat was out of his ground. He was just, he was, to be fair, just wobbling around. But presumably he was just wobbling around inside his crease, otherwise he'd have been a bit more on it, and no one's even looked upstairs, so nothing to worry about. Just a bit over exuberant from Phil Salt. That one's on the leg stump, just gets turned around the corner to the man on the 45. It'll be a single. 1.1, good start for the over. He got a bit tapped the other night as well. Did Adil Rashid. I think we've actually got a game on here, boys.
Yep. And India bats right down to 8, so I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still put India as big favourites, but well, he's gone down and thinking about having a big yahoo at that was Jarrell, but maybe took the pace off it at Rashid. He waited for it, just dabbed it down to third man. No, it's pretty quick actually, 70.2 kilometres. I mean, this is what makes me laugh. Let's have a look. No, 70 point. That's very slow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very slow.
It's very slow. I was thinking in miles an hour. No, that's kilometres an hour. That's really fucking slow.
If Adil was bowling 70 miles an hour, there'd be something interesting going on.
That's a googly, and Tilat's gone back to try and slap it. It's turned on him, and that's more like it. 92.6. And it's come back to the bowler, and there is no run. I mean, this is. I'll point this out because I notice it when I'm watching the women's cricket. That's another googly, and he's tried to turn out on the leg side. He's got a leading edge back past Adil Rashid down to long off, and it's a single, so that's not bad over that actually. 4 off it. One of the things I'll say, Sophie Eccleston, when she bowls, and she's bowling as a women's spinner, she's bowling similar paces to men's spinners, which is why I think she's so effective in women's cricket, because she actually gets the pace up there. She's bowling in the mid-90s and high 90s. As a woman, as a spinner, that seems to be quite quick, because a lot of them seem to be bowling in sort of mid-80s, so you can see why she's so effective. But the pace bowlers, I mean, that's it. You're seeing Adil Rashid's bowling at 92, and occasionally gets up to 99, and you know, Jadeja bowls at 107, and the women's pace bowlers are bowling at 107 kilometres an hour, some of them, and you're just thinking, well, it's not really pace, is it? Yeah. It's just like...
We're due a change.
Are we now?
Is waiting in the waiting room. Yeah.
Right, yes, he is. I shall let him in. It is supposed to be... You're staying on, missus, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Hendo, you're going to come back for the last bit. Hendo, you're taking over from me, mate. He's coming. I'll just do this next ball because you're not here. I'll do what you did for me. So that's guided down towards fine leg by Chennai. And he'll get a single. The score is 64 for 3. Alright, Ajit. You there? Yeah, you're there. Come on in.
Hello. Yes. No, I was waiting in the meeting room, but I'm here. It's perfect. So, well, it's sort of, there are some parallels between the two innings at this point in time, yeah? So, India also have lost a couple of wickets. That was a length ball on the sticks that's been just dinked into the offside, and they crossed through for a single, and Tilak gets the strike back. Yes, you're saying.
Well done, well followed, well filled in, I should say. Yeah, Archer. I mean, goodness me, 41 from 3 overs though.
Sometimes pace is a curse, apparently.
Absolutely.
When you're bowling at good balls, good batsmen.
Yeah, I mean, Wood has bowled really well. And I thought he bowled pretty well on Wednesday too. It's good to see, although, you know, it's a long way to go before the Ashes. This is off the outside edge as Kars comes in to bowl to Tilak, who is a much needed wicket in waiting for England.
I think this guy will be a handful as well. Sorry to interrupt, Messi. Now, this guy Kars, I expect he'll be a bit tough to play, and this is the crucial overs between Adil Rashid and Kars, I would say, for England.
You're absolutely right. I said the Bear was talking about how much one of those balls from Adil turned, albeit down the leg side, but it did turn a long way. Kars in again, bowls, pulled in the air, caught low down by Rayan Ahmed, who must be on as a substitute fielder, and it's the turn of Gautam Gambhir and his Indian charges to look a little bit pensive in the dugout. India are 66 for 4, and that makes Tilak's contribution even more important. Good low catch by Rayan. Kars has
looked like a setup actually. A short ball coming fast onto the batsman not really ready for it, and a short mid-wicket fielder. So well done to Josh Butler and Kars for working this out.
Well,
that was actually Stephen Kelk's wicket. He just sent a message saying, wickets for the wicket god, please.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Who's the wicket guard? Is it Jimmy Anderson? I mean,
the wicket god.
Yes, or Murali? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because he's no more.
There have probably been many wicket gods. You know what? When you're talking about wicket gods, I don't think you can talk in the singular. I think you have to be.
I mean, who holds the highest rank? Maybe is the question. There have been indeed. Probably it was Bobby Peel or somebody from the 1800s. The demon.
Me. Well, it's Hardik Pandya. We rather overshot ourselves a little bit and suggested that he was coming in. Previously, and perhaps
he might as well have.
Jirel might wish he had done. Here he is.
And in breaking news, Hardik Pandya.
And he smashes a Yorker for 4. It's right up there.
Amazing
extraordinary shot.
Just hands through the ball.
Oh, incredible!
Opened himself up, hands through the ball. Amazing cricket.
It was an amazing shot. I was just thinking to myself before he played that shot, it wasn't a lot of width there, to be honest. It was just outside off stump.
It was not in the slot, but it was closer to a half volley than a Yorker in Hardik's defense, but that was an exceptional timed shot.
But what I would say is that as Kars is in again, bowls him a short one, he pulls, and he's going to find the boundary again, is he? Almost. Good piece of fielding by Ben Duckett. Tiny, titchy Ben Duckett dives and offloads to the man at long leg helping him out. So just a single in the end, which is not too much damage done from an England point of view there.
Still a decent over. At least India got 8 out of it. But they'll be a bit wary. I don't think they have too many batters to come either. Yes, Messi.
Leah says, Stephen Kelk, let the wicket burn. Lucky Six says, England ahead on every metric except batting depth. And Leah says that's a Warhammer 40k joke. It's blood and blood god, and the blood god's name is Corn. Sometimes, Leah, you go so far away from anything that makes any sense to me, I get completely flummoxed. I'm sorry.
I had a gaming reference in my mind. I thought it was Kratos, the succeeding god of war.
Oh, right, okay. Rashid starts second over. He's got a slip in now, which is, I think, quite a good idea. If he does manage to get that turn that he got in the first over. He's bowling to Hardik. He's in again. That's the slider, and he smashed it back past him. There is a man at long off, Jamie Overton, just a single. My feeling was with Tilak going so well, and we do know that Hardik can be quite devastating on his day, can't he? I mean, he can score at a real rate.
I think he'll be a critical cog in this chase because he also has the experience to take it deep.
Oh, now that has jumped on Tilak, but he's going to get away with it because maybe you give him a bit of credit. He adjusted enough and just
I dare say you should.
And just
because
kept
he played it later because of the jump. He played it much later, and that's why he got the gap as well between the the short third man and point.
Well, it was I think looking at the replay, he's played that quite well. It's a googly, and it stood up a little bit, and he's controlled it pretty well. Got it away past backward point. That's Mark Wood, who chased after it but couldn't get there. 4 more for Tilak.
Another question is, when will England bring in their fifth bowler? I think it'll be Liam Livingston a bit, maybe Overton.
Onto the front foot comes Tilak. He'll take a single as he just eases that into the onside.
I mean, Indian batters, if they're set by then, they might actually choose to go after this fifth bowler. Liam Livingston has quite a bag of tricks, but I think that will be an interesting challenge for him as well.
I think the tricky one is Jamie Overton. Do you get him in? I mean, potentially he's there as a bowler.
I would actually give him an over or two. I mean, if he can bowl cutters into the pitch to check,
Hardik waits for this one, then crunches it into the offside off the back foot. Out to the edge of the field, Duckett Field. 1 more run, 78 for 4.
They'll take 7 or 8 runs of an over of Adil Rashid if they don't give a wicket. That's good going as far as they are concerned, because he's the one real threat outside of probably Archer and Wood. And then you have to negotiate the other bowlers depending on the run rate that you need from them, right? So this is pretty steady if you're an Indian fan. And yeah.
Here's Rashid over the wicket to the left-handed Tilak, and this is again a googly, and again he has to adjust, and this time he can't play an attacking shot at all, really just has to drop it down into the offside. Seems a little bit annoyed with himself. That's the end of the over. Messi Jez has more tweets.
So, Sidahu sent me on a rabbit path. He says, just a thought, when was the last foreign-born player to play for India? And I've just been looking it up. There's a Reddit thread this 10, I think, but that's from 6 years ago. The most notable of them being Robin Singh, who was born in Trinidad.
Was born in Trinidad. That's the first one I thought of. But I couldn't think of...
Ashok Gandotra was born in Rio, and Lal Singh was born in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, would you believe it? I'm going to have to break off there because Jamie Overton comes into the attack. Hardik tries to cut one that's a little bit too close to him, gets a thin edge through to Phil Salt, and India are 78 for 5. And I think the least we can do is
there you
play
go, cutter into the pitch.
Overton's jingle.
Then
He's
he
gloved
hit his
it.
gloves.
Gloved it, yeah.
He had no chance to adjust.
Jamie Overton can score a quick half-time, less racist than his mother's other son. Is Jamie Overton.
Well, it's interesting. It wasn't that quick. It was 138.8.
That is quick enough. I mean, because he bowled a cutter, probably it jumped off the pitch, and it took Hardik Pandya's glove before he could get into the cut shot. That clearly took him by surprise.
You can argue that he was trying to play a ball that was play that shot to a ball that was a little bit too close to him as well. And you know, that's a great wicket. I mean, England have still got it all to do. But
I need to stop predicting what's going to happen because I'm getting it for more or less okay so far in both the innings.
Well, as long as
I took English wickets, I'm taking Indian
yeah,
wickets.
if you can keep that up from an England point of view, you'll be invited into the dressing room and probably get a beer. Yeah, so 78 for 5, and I don't think I really saw the. I didn't see this happening. I must admit.
This is a wonderful challenge for the lower middle order, right? So you have Akshar Patel, you have Washington Sundar. So these two replaced, let's say at least Washington Sundar replaced. Rinku and Nitish both were injured, so they had to be left out. So this is also a good test because after that you have pretty much 3 bowlers. Ravi Bishnoi, Varun Chakravarti and Arshdeep don't bat a whole lot.
Well,
so again, Tilak Verma's role becomes a lot more important, as you already said.
Well, yeah, we've got. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar are both very decent batsmen.
Both are lefties, though. You have 3 lefties now between whoever comes in with Tilak and the next one. So Rashid's role becomes more important, and I would actually stop Rashid now and bring Liam Livingston, who can bowl off.
Well, do you know? I was about to say possibly the same thing. Like, let him bowl his off breaks to the lefties while they're out there. Although. I don't know.
You have to be tight on the. You have to bowl at a good spot. Otherwise, if you come into the hitting arc, they won't. At least Akshar as well can really release his long levers. He's a big guy. He's a tall guy.
Yeah, we've got drinks, a little bit of a drinks break at the moment, which gives me a chance to remind you that you can help Guerrilla Cricket by sending us on YouTube what do you call them? I've forgotten what they call them now.
Super chat.
Super chat. Send us a super chat. You will get prioritised in being read out if you give us some money. That's all it takes. We haven't had any money since very early in today's game, so why not celebrate England making a game of it by sending us some more cash if you haven't done already. Also, remember that you can become a Patreon, patreon.com/Guerrilla Cricket. If you will, if you can spare us a few pounds a month, that would be gratefully received, and you get some extras. You get the Bishop and Bear podcast early. If you are a patron, you will have got all the Gorillas talking about their year highlights. Now he's had a little push at that. Has Washington Sundar.
Could have been 2 in 2.
And I mean, you kind of have to wait and see. Maybe he's got a little thin edge through, but unfortunately for England, not on that occasion. But
very interesting that they have sent Sundar ahead of Akshar. I think Akshar is the vice captain of this team, and I think there has been some discussions, and they have let the more experienced batter take the sharper end of the game, let's say, towards the end. But yeah, I mean, if Tilak Verma keeps going, it's going to be good. But before we go off that,
onto the back foot goes Sundar. All he can do is really chop this one back of a length to backward point.
There's also another podcast the Patreons get, right? The one with Harry's View or something. The Harry, one of the younger brigade of Guerrilla Cricket doing the podcast.
Oh yes.
Interviews.
Hector and Harry, I think it is.
Hector and Harry. So all I'm saying is it's a wonderful addition to have. You also can get a lot of jingles. I think we have this. If you are able to pay, I think was it £25 a year? You get all the jingles. You can get access to them.
Yeah, something like that.
It's one of the Patreon tiers, right? It
Also,
used to be
wonderful.
a separate thing. Yeah.
This is again back of a length from Overton. He's getting it a little bit of lift, and Washington Sundar is making room for himself but failing to make contact.
Apparently he's found that tough length on this pitch, you know, that sort of test match length, as you say. It's not going to be in your half, but then it's not short enough that you're going to be able to pull, because he's rapid enough. He's 138. That's pretty good bowling.
He's in again, bowls, and he waits for this one. Does Washington Sundar get his first run down to third man, where Archer fields.
No maiden wicket, but one for one of 5 balls. You'll take it now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as long as he doesn't go for a 6 off this ball, which is possible with Tilak there at the striker's end.
What he did is he brought the game rather more than back into balance. I think he's brought England forward. These 2 wickets in the last 3 overs, I think they've set India back.
He's in again, and he. This is a curious one because it's a little bit fuller and it kind of dies in the pitch. Maybe that was a slower ball, and
it was another cutter as well.
Ended up groping for it as it scuttled through a little bit. It's the end of the over. Very good one from Jamie Overton. Messi.
Lockie's trying to tell us that Virat was born in Spain, Delhi in Spain, as Sudahu says. I always thought Cody had something Spanish about him, says Stephen Hilk. I think it's the facial covering. Yeah,
The
he
passion
loves a
as well.
tapa, and he loves a tapas, says Superwho. And Lockie Six says he's passionate and slightly mad. I'm not sure that makes you Spanish. It could be any number of places you're from.
Some of his
with that.
antics on the field could be straight off a tango stage, but all right.
Well, we're not going to see Liam Livingston's off breaks to the two left-handers yet. Rashid will continue. He's in bowling to Washington Sundar. He'll take a single as he whips it into the onside. I think it's Duckett coming in off the fence to do the fielding. Of course, you can't forget that Rashid can bowl the googly, and that might be a very effective ball to the left.
He's way too canny as well. It doesn't require only the googly. The way he lands the ball, the control of the pace, is way too canny.
Well, for Washington, he had a slip, but he's removed the slip for Tilak, who's on 34 from 25. Probably holds the key to India getting this game done and dusted. He has to adjust to the googly again and plays it into the offside. They run through for a single.
A bit of tip and run. Adil is not very enthused. He wanted that single start, and rightfully so. How else can you put pressure on the batter? But look, they have to go into 2 or 3 overs of consolidation here. They cannot play with the cavalier approach, and they look pretty clueless against Overton, so they'll have to work that out. So England in the ascendancy here. This is good.
Now he tries to play a reverse sweep, does Washington, from outside his leg stump, and I think he might have ridden that on the chin or something.
I think he just wore it on his body as he opened himself up and crouched. But they are making me look like a twat or a twit, whichever way you want to look at it.
Well, we don't
just
mind.
for me to say it.
He's taken that on the forearm, hasn't he? On the forearm guard.
Lucky for him, he wore a guard.
Rashid in again. He bowls in the slider there, and this time Sundar pushes up too long off for a single. 82 for 5. It's been
flowing beard, Rashid, and a bit more up top than was previously seen, but those things can be arranged these days.
I think I need to see the Rashid beard from side on, because it was very pointy at one point. Bowls another googly to Tilak, and it's very nicely landed, dipped on him a little bit, so he could only just get forward and defend it into the onside. Just dribbled away from him. Very good.
This one is
so
more
far.
Babylonian, this beard, more square cut, much like the Babylonian statues you would see in some
I just missed that. That was he really has varied his pace extremely well, and
excellent bowling,
and his deliveries. It's been a very good over. Can he keep it going? He bowls to Tilak again, who once more has to come forward,
finish.
defending
Just 3
into
singles.
the offside. Absolutely, 3 overs and just the 13 runs from his bowling so far. 11 bowled. India slipped below 8 and over. It's 82 for 5.
So, it's raining.
Yes.
So, your
Yeah.
pleas have been
No, it's not.
responded to. It's fireworks.
Go on.
Your pleas have been responded to. Lockie has sent us a super chat for $2 Australian.
Yay!
To say that Virat is. He says Virat is definitely Spanish, and so say all of us. As long as you keep paying, you can call him whatever you like. I have no problem with that.
Overton bowls to Washington Sundar. Well done, Adil Rashid, who has raced around at long leg, and again on the dive he picks up and offloads to a teammate, so they just get
Looked
back
like
for
Livingston,
the second.
by the way.
Was it Livingston?
Looked like.
Yes, it was Livingston. Oh, he's not. No. Ooh, hang on.
His back leg came up
Yeah.
and touched the Toblerone, but I think the ball was out of his hands by then. I think he did well there.
I think both feet. I think his back foot.
Oh, that's a 4.
I know. I don't know whether that's touching. I don't know whether.
It is. You could see the Toblerone move, unfortunately. You see that? The plastic of the Toblerone sort of.
Yes.
Tricky one. It's a tricky one. It is given as a 4.
Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Aye, that was a good effort. But if you're an India fan, you'll take it, no?
Totally. Anyway, here comes...
What did we make of the 20-wicket day in Pakistan?
Overton bowls. This is
Sorry
down
to
to third man for a single. Yeah, well, I said that 20 overs in a day. 20 overs in a day. 20 wickets in a day is some going, isn't it? Really.
I mean, sometimes if you make a very dangerous air quotes pitch, it can fire. It can, it can sort of turn back against you with good spinners or good pacers, depending on what sort of pitch you prepared. Let's see if West Indies got a lead. I'm like they're buried now. Pakistan will make 400. But anyway.
Yeah, well, we shall see. Overton in again. Oh, that's a
Oh dear, that's wide.
That's
way too
far too short. It's gone miles over the batsman's head. It's gone miles over the outstretched hand of Phil Salt, and that, unfortunately, is a gimme from Jamie Overton. Far too short.
Oh dear.
And it just keeps rising and rising. Phil Salt was never going to have a hope of that, and it's 5 wides, in fact. So that's very disappointing.
He got the length a little bit wrong, and he forgot how strong he was.
I think he did. He pitched it very close to his own foot. This is jabbed down to third man again for a single, and the rebuild is going okay here for India. I think
10 run over already. There are 2 balls left. This will sort of loosen the pressure a little bit if you're an India fan, and if you're sitting in the dressing room, if you are Akshar Patel, it will sort of give you a little bit more breathing space. Still, India are requiring 73 or 51. The required run rate is 8.5 or more.
Overton in again. Washington tries to swing that ball that pitched outside leg stump, and he was trying to swing it into the onside, and he missed it. He took it in a rather uncomfortable place, although it doesn't seem to have been too badly damaged by it.
Let's say it took the fleshy part of his thigh, not the plastic he wore to protect other parts.
It looked worryingly close to the plasticky bit, I have to say. But on the basis that he didn't double up and start howling.
I'm sorry, Messi. We've gone quiet. We've made all the bad jokes ourselves.
Well, it's impossible to get a word in with you two going on.
Sorry.
Here comes
England, the favourite with the bookies, by the way.
This is driven full ball to extra cover.
Mini comeback from Overton, right? 2 dot balls.
Where are we?
WinViz has England at 67%.
Oh wow!
Well, that's put the mockers on them.
Yeah, hang on. I'm yet to say anything good about the Indian batters. That's what it'll really take. Akshar Patel looked very worried. I don't know if it's justified, but he did.
Overton to complete his second over, bowling to Sundar, and he's driven that very nicely indeed, has he? Yes, he has. I thought for a moment that the long on might be in business. Cast, but it wasn't quite going to reach him, and it was a little bit wide of him, so they've got back for 2. Pretty useful over. That was quite a quick over in terms of pace times from Overton. That was 141, that final delivery. 12 overs bowled, 95 for 5.
Stephen Kelk says it's also a little known fact that Kohli's favourite song is La Isla Bonita by Madonna. La Isla, okay. Sudahu says this needs to be a thing now. It's especially funny when calling Kohli Spanish when Tony is around. Stephen Kelk says, gotta go, thanks for the coverage and company, everyone. Thanks, Stephen, see you next time. Lucky Six says that's Senor Kohli to the likes of us, maybe Don Virat.
Yeah, Don Virat, morely.
Well,
yeah?
England are going for
Wouldn't Don be Italian, says
No, also in Spanish. If you read any Alexandra Dumas.
Yeah, I was thinking more of did you say Ravi Jadeja? He's the man, he's the swordsman, isn't he?
He's Sir and Shardul is Lord.
It's Mark Wood back into the attack. They're going for the jugular, England. That's nicely played by Tilak. He just waits for the ball to come right onto him, and then just using the face of the bat pointed down at the ground, guides it to third man. 96 for 5.
Positive move this actually.
Yes, he is an England bowler, quite good. and pretty quick.
So just a normal guy.
Of course. Except for just one thing.
What?
He thinks that he's a horse.
Right. What?
Well, if England can eke one of these out, especially Tilak, you'd have to say, I think that would be their preferred choice.
This and the next over, it could be a make or break over one way or the other. I think we'll see some runs or some wickets.
Here is Wood in bowls, and he clears his front leg. He's going to be dropped! Oh, he's dropped at mid-on. Oh, my word. Was that Adil Rashid? I think it was.
Yeah, it was Rashid.
Yes.
My instincts were right. Adil Rashid was not yet awake to it, though. It
Well-
was not all that tough a chance, was it?
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't that hard a chance. It's the kind of thing that you would expect him to take 9 times out of 10.
Oh,
It was a bit high, but you usually do it the reverse cup. He tried to go the traditional way.
It was a pretty straightforward catch, really. Really was.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, it's just escaped from him, and it rebounded out of his hands quite a long way. He's gone for the pull this time, Tilak. He's not really got hold of it. In fact, I'm not sure whether that came off bat. It did, actually. He goes on to 38. And, well, has Adil Rashid dropped the enormous trophy, which we don't know the name of?
Not yet. There are some games to go. But look, that ball from Wood to Tilak was even more interesting. It sort of sat in the pitch. It did not bounce as much as he had hoped. He had to crouch at the last minute. Therefore, he got away by not spooning the ball back to the bowler. It went more towards square leg. He was very lucky there, Tilak. So I think the pitch is also behaving a little bit this way and that. That's sort of unforeseen, I think.
A little bit too
He expected the ball to bounce more.
I can tell you what the trophy's called, Hendo. It's called the IDFC Cup, which I thought stood for I Don't Fucking Care Cup, but in fact it's the first development Bank of India or something.
Yes, there's a bank by that telephone.
Yes. Wood bowls again, and this time Washington is trying to play the uppercut from inside the line of the ball, but makes no contact. Through it goes to... Oh, it's a no ball. What was that? Was that an overstep, or was that given
I think
as
so, because it looked to have serious wheels. I was really happy to see 150. Now maybe they can get a little bit back on their own. Tilak whispers something to Washington on how to deal with the ball. Maybe it was an overstep.
It's an overstep. It's not by much. It's very, very tight indeed, in fact.
Yeah.
He might consider himself a little bit unlucky there. It almost felt as if there's a
these days they're very strict on it. They have to see some part of the heel behind, even if the leg is touching the other side of the line.
I think there might have been a little bit of plastic hanging off the back of his heel.
No, there wasn't. No, definitely wasn't.
It was on the other side.
Wood in again. It's a free hit, of course, and he's made the most of it. He's smashed that. Great effort by Duckett, but it's got enough on it. Washington has got 6. That's a... well, a couple of things have been very costly in this over from England. India go past the 100, 105 for 5. Washington Sundar, who should have been caught by Adil Rashid earlier in the over, has then got a very marginal no ball. He's gone right back in his crease for the free hit, and he's lifted it, picked it up.
It was a fast ball following him into his body, so it was not all that bad, but that boundary is shockingly small. It's 52 meters. 50 meters, I say, because it barely cleared the boundary.
Yeah, well, 62 is it required now? Round the wicket he goes. He smacks this one over the top of mid-off. That's going to go the distance. Well, not the distance, but it's going to go for 4. Washington Sundar is stepping up the pace, and it's all gone wrong suddenly for England. And India are really... I would say slightly on the front foot here. England are going to need wickets now for sure. They're going to have to bowl India out here, I think.
Fighting back India. And the required run rate has dipped below 8 and over for first time. And look, as an experienced T20 pro, both of these, 8 and over will not really be a problem for them if they'll see it through.
See, it's all Wimvis' fault. As soon as I said 67%, it changed. They're now down to 45% for England.
There you go. There you go. And it's happened in the case of 3 ball in the space of 3 balls, hasn't it?
I think it's just 1 wicket.
Wood in again, smashed again over mid off. It's going to be 4 more. Oh well, you've got to give credit to Jos Butler for bringing back Wood, and he should have had that wicket. But then those last 3 balls, following on from the no ball, that has to be one of the most costly no balls of the day, of all time. He's gone for he's gone for 6-4-4, hasn't he?
Indeed, it's
Really.
It's time for change, boys.
Yes. Okay. We'll catch you next game. Thank you all.
Thanks, Messrs.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Sterling
See you
work.
later.
Although there was no Sterling put into the GPL today, I'm afraid to say.
Well,
Well, Bear, how's your 4-1 looking now?
Well, it was looking good. I nearly hedged out when bloody India got to evens, but I don't think there'll be evens now. I'd have to check. I haven't got my phone on me.
Isn't it amazing how a game can turn in the space of
Very
four
little,
balls?
very little time at all, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Well, 113 for 5, 53 required off 7 overs. It should be doable. But they've only got 5 wickets left. England need wickets.
And of course, if Washington had gone to that catch for Rashid, then Axar Patel's got to come and get himself in. Now Washington is seeing the ball well. Tilak is already seeing the ball well anyway.
Oh well. Cast is in. Slower ball cut. Is there anyone out there? There is. It'll just be the 1 run. England need a calm over here. Put some pressure back on.
There's Washington and there's Akshar and who else? There's another one who can bat.
It's Axar and Bishnoi.
No, before that, there's somebody else.
No, there isn't. That's
They've lost only 5.
Yeah, they've lost 5 now.
No, there's another one.
So 7, yeah. Axar's 8, Bishnoi's 9. This is
Chakravarti and Arshdeep. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bournemouth 3 up. Blimey.
Oh, 3. Yeah, Clivert's got a couple.
No, he's got 1.
No, he got a second.
No, the other guy's got 2.
I thank God for that.
Utara. Why, he's not in your fantasy team?
Yeah, it said Clivert on the Guardian thing. Got the
Maybe
second.
they're right.
Cast in. That's driven straight back to the bowler. They're going to get a single. A clean take would have been interesting. You know what I might do? I might get my phone at the end of this and put a cheeky bet on a run out.
Yes, well.
They've got the run rate back up to 8.62 and required. It's gone back down to 7.65, which ain't great because it was the other way round 2 overs ago.
Yep.
Cast in and slower into the pads, played out towards long on. They've gone for 1. They won't get back for a second. So 3 singles off the first 3 balls. Good start to the over.
Yeah, and Tilak's sort of been anchoring this.
Yeah, he had a bright spot, didn't he? For a couple of overs, probably 6 overs ago, and then he's been a little bit in his shell.
He's not been getting that much of the strike as well.
No, to be fair, Washington was looking pretty ropey until that no ball. He wasn't really going at a runner ball. He wasn't really getting it anywhere, and then all of a sudden, Cast is in again. Oh! Hold him! Having said all that, Cast has come back. He's slipped one through. It's full. He's gone back. He's tried to cut it. I don't know if it kept low or it was just a bit too full for the shot. It was certainly too close to the body to try and cut it. He didn't go wide enough outside. Didn't step outside his leg stump to guide it down there. It's gone straight through him. Good job I didn't go for a run out. Didn't have time, and it's just snuck under the bat and taken out his middle stump. And England get the wicket that they needed. Now this is interesting.
That's a strange shot, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a.
Well, it seemed to skid on.
It's looking good now.
Well, it seemed to skid on a little bit, didn't it? I think he expected it to rise a little bit more.
Maybe it's the dew.
Maybe it's dew. Is it dewy in Chennai?
Not so much.
No.
I said not so much, although I did see Arian suggesting that there would possibly be some dew, but I don't know who's more familiar with Chennai than.
Presumably, the further south you go, the less dewy it gets. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really don't think there's going to be much dew in there.
Okay. Fair enough. Just having a quick check of the football scores, and I can tell you that in the Forthy Bishop derby, the Sky Blues are 1 up at the moment.
That'll Watford at home.
No, it's at. I was going to say Highfield Road, but it's no longer Highfield Road. Hasn't been for a long time.
I should get my daughter to become a Coventry fan while she's at Warwick University.
Oh yeah. Actually, it's not an easy place to get to the new ground.
She doesn't give a shit about football anyway.
Well, there you go.
All right then. Well, that's interesting. That would have changed everything a little again. Yeah, that seemed to skid on, didn't it? And kept a little bit low. I don't think it got up nearly as much as you thought. It was a bit of cut in it.
It's quite foolish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite foolish, but you noticed the bounce of the ball seemed to go on.
He missed the
rather
line.
than
I mean, he was playing cross-batted and he missed the line there.
It was a good delivery. Cars has had an absolute blinder today, hasn't he?
Yeah.
3 for 19 he's got. That's fished out outside off stump. There's I thought about going up for a little catch.
I think it's been given, hasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was a wide.
Well, yes, it has. Yes, it was, because just going on the Cars's reaction as he looked up at the big screen, I think.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it was Sunder. He's been giving himself a little bit of room. He was doing that to Mark Wood, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think because he's trying to get his body out of the way of the really quick ones.
Yes. Exactly. Well, Cars is in. That's full and it's driven by Axar, and that's 5th ball to the over. If they can keep a dot ball here, we could have Axar on strike for the beginning of the next over. And so that's a good over so far. 5 and a wicket off it. 48 now required off 37. Suddenly, England get that run rate up to nearly 8 again.
I could just do with Chesterfield and Bromley each scoring a goal.
Liverpool are 3-0 up.
I know, I saw that. They were 3-0 up at half time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Poor old Ipswich.
Arsenal have had a man sent off.
Yep.
Lovely.
It's the Arsenal way, isn't it?
It is.
How many sendings off?
They just don't have a striker either, do they?
Well, yeah.
And Nottingham Forest are fucking it up, which means that Liverpool should have a 9-point lead with a game in hand by tonight. Sweet. That's full and just played out to the offside by Tilak. He'll get himself a single. He's not actually setting it on fire, is he, Tilak? He did for a little bit, but recently he's not. I guess he's planning to get to the last 5 overs and then go ballistic, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very IPL way to do it.
Well, I'm not sure that he's going to have to go ballistic.
That's where he learned his trade.
I think it's just showing the other side of his talent in a way. I think you were right. Someone was saying, maybe even in New Bear, that he went quite a while without getting too much of the strike, and that might have slowed him down a little bit. But also, with wickets falling at the other end, he has to think a little bit differently, doesn't he?
Yeah. What's Bishnoi like as a batsman? Hitter, bowling hitter could come off 1 in 10.
I think you'd rather give him a ball than a bat.
Okay, so he's the next man in. So England really want to get another wicket, and then it's down to Tilak, and hopefully they can force a mistake from Tilak. Wow, this is a real risk, isn't it?
This is a risk. This is a big risk.
Here we go.
I am Livingston. I play for the Lightning. My one-day kit is blue, but for the tests it's white.
Presumably it would be offies to the left-handed Tilak from around the wicket, and here he comes. And he bowls one, it's straight, and Tilak just works it out onto the leg side into the deep. He'll be happy with that. He could just get the single.
Yeah, I don't know. And Axar Patel is technically a proficient batsman as well, so he's not going to do anything stupid, I wouldn't have thought. Knowing that they can probably...
He's faced these situations before, so he knows there's no one after him.
Yeah. That's floated up a little bit, driven by Axar, back down the ground.
They don't need to do anything stupid. I mean, there's not that many runs to get.
No, they're looking at... It's just under 8 and over, isn't it? And so, singles every ball, and then, the one get the bad ball, and, Livingston is always likely to give you a bad ball or two.
Yeah. Well, he's around the wicket. It's attempted, and it's a successful reverse hit from Axar Patel. Tilak, sorry. Got it over the man at short third man. That was where the gap was, and he picked it out beautifully. He gets himself a 4 and moves on to 46.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
It was a clever shot. It was well thought out, well executed. That's where the space was. He knows he's got an off spinner, and Livingston's not too cute with variations, is he really? Comes down the track this time, knocks it into the leg side, and Livingston goes herring after his own delivery to make sure that they keep it just down to 1, which he does.
I'm just thinking, comparing the way that England play spin and India play spin is that Tilak had a look at one ball from Livingston and then played the reverse sweep of having got a single, whereas Ben Duckett taking on Washington.
Went for the first one. Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same.
Oh, that's heaved into the leg side. Has he got enough? No, he hasn't. Axar Patel has slammed it down Ben Duckett's throat. I thought for a minute he cleared him. But like earlier, it seemed to drop out of the sky, didn't it? It's not particularly boundary, but basically Ben Duckett didn't have to move, and Axar Patel has just slapped it straight down his throat, and that could be... Ooh, now this gets interesting. 3 wickets left. Tilak could do this on his own.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
He's got to do it on his own, really. He's got not 3 rabbits, but he's got the tail in now, as Axar Patel has gone for 2 of 3 deliveries. Managed to unerringly pick every fucking single jingle that's going to get us kicked.
Look, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't even know what that one is.
I know, but you just manage it. It's incredible.
There you go. But there I was saying that Axar Patel's not going to throw it away. Third ball, slaps it down Ben Duckett's throat. So
and Livingston gets a wicket.
Yeah, and it's going to be about, as much as anything, it's going to be about keeping Tilak away from the strike, isn't it?
Yes.
As much as you can.
Well, this is it. If you can keep him down to singles and he's off strike.
Yep.
Well, Arshdeep has come in instead of ahead of Bishnoi. I've seen Arshdeep give it a long handle, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's about all.
And then this guy called Arshdeep Singh. The obvious jokes will be entertained here.
Oh dear. Well, it's first ball. Is flighting up, he drives it. It wasn't cleanly taken by Livingston, but fortunately didn't go too far from him. And he managed to stop them coming back, getting singles, sorry.
But it will mean that Tilak is going to be facing whoever bowls the next over.
Now, who are you going to have? You got, what over is this? 16. You got 4 overs left. You got what?
No, got 5 overs left.
5 overs left, sorry. You've got one from Woody, one Woody
one from
out?
Wood, one from Archer,
2 from Cars.
Yeah. I think. Is it?
No,
I think is it 1 or 2 from Cars? I'm not sure. It's 1 from Rashid, and a couple from Overton. Do you?
And 3 from Livingston.
He's going to bring Archer back. Well, it's a risk against Tilak.
Well. Was it Tilak? It wasn't Tilak.
No, it was
Abhishek. Who took
it was
him apart.
Abhishek, but he he's made of the same stuff, isn't he? To be honest,
he is indeed. Archer's a wily man. He's coming in now, and he bowls that very straight, and Tilak can't do anything with it, and there's no one. This is what he is good at. If he gets this right.
Break your helmet, break your heart, hotter than lava, cooler than Bogart, in your face. At your stumps, on your toes, on your mum.
Right. You watch it, I bet he bowls very close to the stumps, very straight. And the top edge, fucker. He's got 6. Tilak has gone to pull it. It's got a massive top edge. Jofra has had a bit of unluck today.
2, 4, 6.
And it's 50 for Tilak. Oh dear.
He tried to pull that. I mean, he had no control of that at all, was he?
Well, he was beaten for pace there, totally. I think.
Massive top edge has gone flying over the keeper and over the bloody boundary.
It's one of the downsides of pace, right?
Yeah, it is one of the downsides, especially with boundaries. I mean, we saw a 6 earlier that went for 55 metres or something, or miles over the. I mean, that boundary is about 40 metres behind.
Well, that's not. It's gone on the offside behind the wicket, hasn't it? And he was aiming it to the leg side. And
there's no fielder out there. He slapped that behind square for 6.
50 runs. Well done, well done, well done, well done. 50 runs. 50 runs. The job is only just begun. 2 6s.
That's killed the game as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I need to get Tilak out.
In a row.
I think if you get Tilak out, England, it's soon, and very soon, I mean, there's still a chance, but it needs to be straight away. Just knocked into the leg side this time by Tilak. This time he'll get a single.
Now, it might be interesting to see what they do at the end of this over. I mean, Archer's just got to come in and try and York Arshdeep.
Yeah, he's got to try and get two.
He's got to try and get 2 wickets.
2 wickets in this over. Yeah. How many sixes is that? 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sixes he's hit. A hell of a lot of 4s.
Yeah. Well,
it's a good innings. 60 off 41
innings.
balls. It's really held it together. Archer around the wicket.
Oh, Lord
fuck
almighty.
me. Arshdeep's gone outside leg stump, tried to whip it somewhere, got a massive inside edge. I mean, I can understand why Archer's got his hands on his hips. This isn't a bowler's game. And that's gone for 4. It's outrageous.
Although, and I think you've got to say something about this, is he's trying to bowl the Yorker, but how wide of leg stump is that? If that had been straight, he's got a chance of getting a wicket there. That's never going to,
possibly. I guess he's trying to follow the batsman a little bit.
But why follow him with a full one like that? I don't get it.
Exactly. I mean, you're bowling to a number 10.
Yeah.
There's no reason to follow the batsman.
He's done it again.
Well, he spooned that one up in the air. He's got away with it as Arshdeep. It's gone out into the offside. You're going to come back for 2.
Oh, goodness me. This has been awful.
145 for 7. I mean, Archer has gone for 60 in 4 overs. It's terrible day for him.
Awful, and I thought it was an over too early. I'm not even sure I would have gone back to Archer, based on how he can get hit by these left-handers, and I just think he's just bowled he's unlucky with the first 6. After that, he's bowled poorly.
Yeah, he's just bowled badly.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been awful.
And he's out of the equation now. 4 overs. 1 for 60, 21 required off 24. I mean, it's a runner ball. They've got it, and Tilak has got the strike. Rashid's going to come on. He's got his range now, surely, Arshdeep. Sorry, Tilak.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. Tilak is going to face up. 60 off 41, just 21 required off 24 deliveries. It could be over in this over if he decides to go for it.
Rashid's not that easy to go.
No, he's not that easy to go away, and he's bowled exceptionally well today. He's gone for 13 in 3 overs. That one comes back into. He's bowling. He's taken all the pace off today. He's bowling at about 70 kilometres an hour a lot of the time, 70, 75.
But apart from the guy like Bishnoi in particular, who's quick through the air. I mean, Axar Patel was doing that, really not completely following through. With his action, I think, just to try and take a little bit more weight out of the ball.
Yeah. Well, Tilak is facing up. Adil Rashid is bowling that one, pushes that one through. But again, it's off the back foot, pushed out to cover. I don't think he wants to take a run, does he?
I don't think he does. He's waiting for the bad ball, isn't he? That's what it is.
I think he figures he has a better chance of getting this.
Yeah.
Well, he figures it's 3-4 hits, isn't it? It's guided down towards backward point. Again, there's no run. 3 dot balls. Interesting. 21 off 21. Now get him this ball. Ooh, that would put the cat amongst the pigeons, would it not?
It would.
The piercing blue eyes of Joss Butler. A lot of despondent English fans there who are probably quite happy 4 overs ago.
They're quite engaged.
Yeah, they are. That was tossed up, comes into the pads again, and Tilak can't get it away.
So unless he gets a bad ball here, is he going to take the single off this ball?
That was 66.4 kilometres an hour. He's just lolloped that up.
I mean, any slower, he need not bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Varied his pace well this over. 72, 87, 88, 66. What's this one going to be? Coming in, tosses it up straight, goes on. This time they do get the single though.
Well, now the important thing for England is
to let
Well,
this ball go for any runs.
Okay, how many are you allowed outside the circle now? It's 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got to use all of those and make sure you don't bowl a terrible ball that gets slogged and falls into open territory.
Yeah.
They'd be quite happy to give a single to Arshdeep here.
I don't think they would take it. I'm honest.
Yeah. They're definitely not taken. Yeah. They'd be stupid.
Well, they just had a little chat, and I suspect that's what it was about. Yeah.
I bet. Surely Tilak says to Arshdeep, "You've got license to try and thrash this one, don't you?"
Does he say that? I don't know. I think you keep as many wickets in hand as you can.
I wouldn't tell him that.
No.
I wouldn't
No,
tell him that.
I would be tempted. Last ball went over because if he gets 6, then it takes it down to, you know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but then you've got 2 wickets left. I don't know.
Yeah, but then Tilak's facing the next.
Yeah, true.
ball. So,
Yeah.
you know, and it's 20 to win. 20 to win. As the leg slip, he does. He goes for a big heave ho, and it's a very short boundary, and he's going to be out. Arshdeep has pulled it down to deep square leg.
What a fucking moron!
And he has got to sit. Well, I don't know. Like, you know, you've got to back Tilak to get them over the line here. It's almost a free hit. There's only 3 overs left. I suppose you've only got 3 wickets left. So Tilak has got to try and do this himself. Arshdeep did try and swing it over the boundary. For a minute there, I thought he got it, but nope. Big top edge, caught by Archer.
Oh, goodness. I've been so absorbed by this game that I've completely forgotten about socials.
Well, that's why we have super chats. If you really want to get noticed, that big box with a big colour on it that comes up on our fucking timeline that says, read me out, read me out. That's why you do super chat, peeps.
We're doomed, says Muttley. This was a while ago. Lockie 6 says Cratfield placing for that 6. Which 6? There have been a few. Messenger says, sorry Bear, the Gunners have scored. And the teams are even with another red card, says Suter Who. Extra cover K says, doing our best to keep in the game. S Sam says, just when I was starting to believe, then they score 19 in 1 over. Lockie the 6 says, Archer cost us the game, sack him. Suter Who says, he'll be injured soon enough. They already gave him the sack. Sack full of money. Says Sam. Extra cover K. Has Duckett eaten a whale? Not yet. It's very exciting. UTC. Fuck off Leeds. What's his UTC stand? I'm not sure.
Some time zone, isn't it?
Cars.
The Cars is in, and Tilak pulls that round to deep square leg. So he doesn't take the run. This could get interesting.
This is
because if he does the same as the last
interesting.
over and doesn't manage to take a single until 1 ball before the end of the over, then takes a single and another wicket falls, then we're going to have some fun, aren't we?
I think he's reckoning that he's got another top edge.
Yeah, probably. And if I were England, I would bowl a bunch
pace
of
pace off. Although that you know, again, if you bowl 2 pace off and it's too short and it sits there.
Exactly. Cast is in again. Pulled out towards Cow. It's going to be. Are they going to go for 1? No, they decided not to take even the 1 there.
No, they did take 1.
Oh, they did take 1. So, well, that's good. Maybe they thought there was 2 there. I thought Tilak thought he could probably get back for 2.
There once was a boy whose name was Ravishnoy, and he had so many skills that he wanted people to enjoy.
Wow. He's got to back himself to be able to get a single. Cass has got to back himself to maybe try and York him.
England could do with a Tilak run out now, couldn't they?
Oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? It's tight. 19 required off 16. It's straight, it's full. Bishnoi guides it down towards third man. He'll get himself a single.
That's clever. Clever enough.
The throw's pretty useless, but I don't think they'd come back for 2 anyway. Tilak wants to strike.
So 18. So 3 6s will do it. He's got 3 balls left in this over.
Yeah. Wow. It's a pretty packed house as well, it has to be said.
I think is that the Gulliver's Travel tour group? That always looks the most depressing tour group I've ever seen.
They don't look very happy, did they, really? Cass is in. Tilak works it out towards deep square. He trusts Bishnoi more than he trusted Arshdeep. That's the thing.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder why Arshdeep came in ahead of Bishnoi then.
Well,
doesn't it?
maybe they thought he can give it some big swings.
Just give it a
But only 3 off that delivery. So who's going to bowl the last over then? I wouldn't give it to Woody. He's too quick. There'll be some sly fucking top edge.
Rashid got one more there?
He's got Overton, he's got Livingston, Rashid has finished.
Yeah.
It's a difficult. This is when a captain earns his corn.
Cast is in. It's into the pads. Clipped nicely by Bishnoi. He's got himself 4 runs.
Wood.
Great shot out through cow.
Leave it.
Got it in front of the square, and he got himself a single.
Now my innings going, great guns. I hit the ball, 4 runs. I hit the ball, and it went for 4 runs.
That is very, very frustrating for England.
It is indeed, and it's nicely clipped by Bishnoi, really.
I mean, I presume they've got 5 out at the moment. Where were the 5?
Yeah.
You'd have thought, I suppose you.
It's a big round.
Yeah,
well, I guess if you're going to bowl slightly short of a length, you don't expect it to go in front of square, do you? Really? That's full and well defended by the bowler.
And they should let him have a single there, shouldn't they?
Well, everyone calm down. It's driven up to mid-off. A little bit of a misfield by
and
the bowler.
I think they wanted Tilak to have the strike, so
yeah.
That's the end of the 18th over.
So 13 required off 2, and Tilak to face. He'll do it in 2 balls now, I think.
Well, possibly.
Would you bring Wood on? Yeah, they're going to go for it. I think you've got to back him, haven't you, really? You've got to say, come on.
He's bowled well.
Yeah, he has bowled well. Apart from that one over, wasn't it?
Quite good and pretty quick. So just a normal guy. Of course. Except for just one
Nope,
thing.
he's decided.
He's a horse.
There I was, playing Mark Wood, and strangely enough, it's not. It's going to be Jamie Overton.
Well, I would be trying to bowl Yorkers, to be honest.
Can score a quick half ton, less racist than his mother's other son. Is Jamie Overton.
I don't know. I still think that England have to take both wickets to win this. I can't see them keeping them down to 13 or less than 13.
No, they can't. They've got to take both wickets.
Oh, hello. Is there going to be another change in the bowling? It's Liam Livingston. He's handing his cap to the. So a third change before even a ball is delivered.
I am Liam Livingston. I play for the Lightning. My one-day kit is blue, but for the tests it's white.
Bournemouth are winning 5-0.
Blimey, that's brought an end to the Forest run, hasn't it?
Yeah, just.
They're on fire, Bournemouth, aren't they? Totally on
Semenyo
fire.
just scored in the 90-something minute. Liverpool 4-0. Nice.
Well, this is important. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this.
I'm not sure about this either, but let's see what happens. Tilak is going to face up to Livingston. He's going to come round the wicket, presumably bowling his normal standard off breaks.
It's not like he's turning it square, is it?
No. But he drives down to long off, and he doesn't take the single. Interesting.
Oh, he's just waiting for the loose ball, and I think it will almost certainly come.
Well, if he bowls darts in at leg stump, and unless he takes a chance, it's going to be a drive up to somewhere. I guess he could heave it into the leg side. That's taken down to the man on the 45, and it's a single. I mean, that's what I'd be doing if I was Livingston, because if you're not prepared to take the single, I just bowled in balls that he's either got to take a chance or it's going to angle for a single. If you're not prepared to lift it, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Livingston in again. That's another dart into the pads.
He's looking for
they
two,
go
though.
for the single. They're going to try for 2. They're going to come back. It's at
Take
the
it.
bowler's end.
No.
Oh, he didn't take it in
Shocking.
his hands, and they did get back for 2. Well, this is interesting. That's what I was trying to find
I think
out.
that was cleverly done. You've got to say Tilak is keeping his nerve. I have to say that if it was the other way round and it was Livingston batting, I'm not sure he'd be doing. He'd have swiped it down deep mid wicket's throat, wouldn't he? By now,
More than likely.
As he did in the 100 semi-final, when he should have got, was it Birmingham over the line?
Yes, and they fucked it up.
Yeah.
India 4-1 on England, a 3-1. It sounds about right. It's just about wickets, isn't it? Taking somehow to get Tilak to spoon one into the air with 11 required and the 2 tail enders in, and we pretty much go back to evens, you'd have thought.
I suspect he's going to go for it this ball.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be giving it any air if I was Livingston. He has gone for it, but he's pulled it behind square. He's taken the single. So Bishnoi will face.
He's got a right hand.
What does he do? Bowl one of his leggies. He doesn't have a googly, does he?
I don't think so. No. He's got to try one of his leggies, hasn't he? We did see one turn a long way from Rashid earlier, and to the right hander. Although, does that mean he brings in a slip, or?
No, I'd still keep the man at short third man. Well, Bishnoi's taken off his chest protector.
Yeah, he needs to bowl him a really high, just below. Well, you can't really bowl a high one, can you? But I was going to say below waist height, but fairly high.
Who gets bowled the last over? I'd actually probably go with.
Well, you have to get.
I'd go with Jamie Overton rather than Woody, I think.
I don't think so, because I think you've got to take a wicket. And
well, in that case, you've got to tell Wood to probably bowl Yorkers or try and.
Well,
bowl
you have,
Yorkers.
and you've got to say bowl as fast as you can, as straight as you can, and as full as you can. Yeah. I think you've just got to. You've got to.
And then if Tilak manages to pick a couple up over leg side, you have to say well done, mate.
Indeed.
Well, he's given that one some air. It's fucking floated up over the top of fucking third man. And it's going to go for 4 runs. It's a big top edge. But Bishnoi gave himself some room and tried to slap it. And he successful. 6 required off 7 deliveries.
Small margins.
Small margins indeed.
And still got a ball to go. Maybe Bishnoi will try and do it with the 6.
Yeah. Be interesting if it was a wicket though, wouldn't it? And 1 wicket left, 6 runs required. Last over. Oh, everything on the line. Good game, I have to say, good game. That's straight as a big appeal for LBW. It's going down leg side. It's not going to be out, but it won't be a run. So Tilak will face 6 required off 6.
They're
They've gone for a review. It might as well, but I don't think it's out. I think it's probably hit him outside the line, hasn't it?
Yeah,
or just about on leg stump, and it certainly wasn't coming back enough. I wouldn't have thought.
Was that definitely out?
No.
Yeah, that they're just using that because they can.
Yeah, I agree. Let's have a look. Where's it pitched? It's pitched outside leg.
Yeah,
and it's
he
not come back at all. So it's.
He might have even got a little bit of bat into the ground on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, might have done. I don't think it's going to matter.
Out. It's not out.
Just look at where it pitched first before you even look at the bat, mate, because you know that's outside leg stump. Averton is going to get a lot. I think that's a wiser decision.
Well, if he get
well, I think he just has a little bit more control. I mean, Woody is raw pace.
Yeah. Which of these 2 bowlers, though, would you? I mean, you have to get rid of the main man, don't you? And which of these bowlers is more likely to do that? I would say Wood, if he gets it right. So I think.
Yeah, but Wood's less likely to get it. Well, is he less likely to get it right? I don't know.
Well, he bowled 2 really good, 2.5 really good overs.
Yeah.
And England are going to have to look back on that over. That's where it went. That's where they lost the game.
Yeah, it's very true. Drop catch. Was it Tilak that was dropped, or no?
It was Washington Sundar.
But then he went to hit 6-4-4.
And then he hit 6-4-4. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could argue that maybe Akshar Patel would have come in and batted better.
Why are we still looking at this? We haven't even wound up the fucking shit yet, have they?
Yeah, everybody wants to move on, but.
But well, I suppose make the batsman think a little bit.
It adds to the pressure, but does it add more to the pressure on the bowler or the batsman? I'm not sure.
He didn't hit it. Yeah, right, we got that. unless it hit the glove.
Surely
Did it hit
that's
the glove?
outside leg stump.
Yeah, of course it's miles outside leg stump. So a complete waste of a fucking review.
Well, it's one over.
It's one over. And, I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, we got 2 and there's 1 over left, so you might as well use it. It's true, but
as far as I'm concerned, it's midnight, so it's a waste of time.
yes.
Walking over.
Tomorrow's Sunday. What you got to do? You're not working tomorrow.
Nah.
He's on holiday.
I'm not on holiday.
Oh, you're not on holiday.
You're working again. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, it wasn't out. It pitched outside leg, funnily enough. Oof. Right. Tillack is going to face up. Jamie Overton. Slab Junior.
Indeed. Little Slab.
Little Slab is going to bowl. Well, England's field place is going to be. I'm tempted to have a fucking backstop.
I'd be tempted to have a bloke on the top of the sight screen for the top edge. Because I can't see any other way. If he gets a top edge, it's flying, isn't it?
How would that work if the bloke jumps off the side screen before the ball pitches and then catches it and goes into the field?
Would he be out technically?
Oh no, he couldn't be, because I presume he would have come onto the pitch without permission.
Interesting. Of course. That's annoying.
They've always got little ways of.
You have some sort of reverse bungee on the edge. When that's on the leg side, it's been smashed into the leg side. Oh, great bit of fielding. Get it in! Get it in! Get it in! Get it in! But they are going to get back for 2. Oh, tense. Good bit of fielding though by Liam Livingston. Good shot by Tillack. 4 required. 5 balls. Can't see them not doing this.
No, they can't not do this. I mean, on the basis that you have to get 2 wickets now, because
the last time this wasn't done was Klusner and who was that?
Donald, was it?
Klusner and Donald, yeah.
Stein. No. Who was that?
Donald, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Donald. Donald was the one who got run out. Yeah,
Donald. Yeah. Klusner.
Slightly more important game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to get 2 wickets here. If you don't, I mean, the last pair can get these runs, can't they? Even if Tillack gets out here now.
Well, yeah, I mean, a streaky 4 will get you, won't it? That's why I'd have a backstop. That's where the streaky 4 is going to go, basically. It's full, it's driven, it's out, and that's it. That's the game. There's 4 runs out through extra cover. India win. Great game, actually. That was a good game. England fucked it up, really, as Endo said, in that 1 over where Adil Rashid dropped a catch, followed by a no ball that was then hit for 6 off the free hit, followed by 2 4s. That over cost 17, and we didn't get the wicket, and Axar went on to get 26 off about 13.
Washington.
Washington, sorry. And that was the difference, really, between the 2 sides, and England should look back on that and rue that, because they were probably in the box seat at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, there aren't many times when you're going to look down the figures and you say, "Oh, England lose that," and then if you're coming to this without knowing anything about the game, you see that India have won with 4 balls to spare, and then you look at the England bowling figures and you see that Archer's gone for 60 off 4 overs. You're going to think, what on earth was going on there?
I don't think Archer will have a game like that again for a very long time. I think it was quite unlucky. I mean, there were quite a few. I mean, there were some good shots, don't get me wrong, but there was a fair few top edges that flew for 6 and down to fine leg and stuff. I think probably 20 of those runs were miss hits at least.
That's
T20 for you.
Yeah, exactly. As we were saying, I mean, you bowl at that pace in T20, you're going to get a few of those.
You are.
Yeah, the thing is, when you've got that pace, and England have got extraordinary pace, if those 2 start a game, then you've got to take, those guys have got to take wickets, because you only got 4 overs each, and you can still take wickets but still go for a number of runs, and if you go for runs without taking wickets, then it's going to be a really difficult thing to pull back. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, okay, there's a lot of other sport going on at the moment, so I'm not sure it's going to take up too many pages of the English papers tomorrow. But will there be criticism of England not going to Wood for one of those last 2 overs?
I don't think so. I think they'll look at the I mean, I think England batted quite badly and still managed to post a score. So there are some kind of positives you can take out of it, really, in some respects. I mean, England getting up to 160, and a lot of the top order blown away for under 100. I mean,
considering that I don't really think we got much of a tail, to get up to 160 was actually quite impressive.
Well, I mean,
in a lot of respects.
you've got to say that
It was a good score.
Yeah, on another day, Bryden Cast is man of the match. He probably won't be because of, Tilaka's kept his nerve, and you can talk about he's got great shots, and he has, but he's absolutely, he's old before, he's the old head on young shoulders, isn't it? He's used his cricketing intelligence, which is, something I go on about a lot with regards to England. Don't always use their cricketing intelligence.
No, indeed.
But he kept his nerve, and so many England players would have thrown that away in a similar position.
Yeah, very much so.
But there you go. So a good win.
And interestingly, he trusted Bishnoi.
Yep.
And Bishnoi got 2 fours in the 2 balls that he was allowed to sort of swish at. He got a couple of fours, which really helped Tilak. It meant he could have a couple of dot balls because he knew he was capable of getting a boundary here or there. So in the end, I enjoyed that though. That was a good game.
It was a good game. It was thoroughly enjoyable.
When England were about 120 for 6, I thought we were done again, and we weren't going to get a decent score, and we managed to get wickets as well. So whilst we slated England a lot, and in the end we lost, and there was obvious mistakes why we lost, as we said, that one over. But a good game and all.
Okay, some final socials. Where are we? Sam says, India are cheating. There's no way that guy is a number 10. Linux Lear says, I just love to have an Indo as my spirit animal with me to help me through the frustrations of a bad English LBW review. Lockie6 says, yes, wicket. When was that? He says, I'm working tomorrow. It can't be that long ago. I'm working tomorrow, going to record an ACP episode with Ajit. That's an armchair cricket podcast. It's the hope that kills you, says Muttley. R.I.P. England, says S. Sam. V. No Name says Root would have been handy with an over or 2. Hat-trick on Tuesday, says Ravi Natarajan. Has he been on before? Has he just popped on to have a little I think he's just popped in to have a little pop. Okay, well, we'll see. Tuesday, England will have their revenge. But there you go, that's it from us for today. It's been good fun. Don't forget to become a patron if you haven't already. Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket. Please give us all your money on a monthly basis. Thanks to an Indo. Have we got you on Tuesday, or are you?
Yep, I'm on Tuesday.
He's back on Tuesday, which is great. I'll be here. The Bear. Are you here on Tuesday?
I believe so.
The Bear is here. I don't think Tony is. I think he's having another day off. Because he's a lazy bastard. Well, I swapped with him because I was going to originally doing the Friday, and then something came up for me on the Friday, so I said, can I swap to the Tuesday? And he swapped us. But actually now I can do the Friday as well anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, so until Tuesday, it'll be 1:30 again, I presume, GMT. Where's the next game, Anindo? I can't think offhand.
Neither can I.
Neither can you. So we don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming from somewhere in India.
I can quickly.
The Bear's going to tell you very quickly.
You can have a look.
We'll just have a quick look.
England tour of India.
It's in Rajkot.
It's in Rajkot.
Yep, it's Rajkot.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. We look forward to having your company. Hopefully, from an England perspective, they can turn it around and take, take it further than the England women's team have done.
Yeah, it'd be good if England win that.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. Until then, it's goodbye from an Indo.
Good night.
It's goodbye from the Bear.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Bye-bye.
Sayonara.
Patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come. This is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on